Hi everyone, please subscribe to my channel. Blood Immortal Venerable. See playlist for other chapters and novels. Join now our Telegram channel now and enjoy exclusive early access. t.me/blood_immortal_official. I do not translate the novels. Credits goes to original translator and author of the novel. I only make it as an audiobook so it would be easier to just listen while doing other things. Credits goes to the author of the novel. I convert stories to audiobook for mental health, for multitasking purpose, for accessibility and time saving. Listening to audiobook is also beneficial for people who have disability. It improves our listening skills and improve our English comprehension, vocabulary and other things. So, thank you for listening. Thank you and thank you very much for your support. Chapter 241, The Whereabouts and Secrets of God-Level Beasts. I've told you already, I don't know. Back then, I wasn't even a beast overlord, how could I know about God-level beasts? Please let me go, I really have no idea, pleaded the Zon Turtle overlord. An ordinary emperor-level beast might believe the Zon Turtle's words, but the 9 Lives Cat Emperor, one of the 12 most cunning and intelligent beast overlords, naturally wouldn't easily believe the Zon Turtle overlord. If you don't know, then die. The 9 Lives Cat Emperor prepared to strike again, reaching out with a claw. Boom! The void solidified, as if a world was torn apart by the 9 Lives Cat Emperor's claw. Under such an attack, the Zon Turtle Overlord sensed the breath of death. All talk, the Zon Turtle Overlord shouted. Whoosh! The cat's claw stopped in front of the Zon Turtle Overlord, as the 9 Lives Cat Emperor retracted its attack. So, Zon Turtle Overlord, you do know after all. How patient you are. If I hadn't really intended to kill you just now, you wouldn't have spoken, right? Sneered the 9 Lives Cat Emperor. The Zon Turtle Overlord seemed to lose all his strength, his spirit and vitality drooping, and spoke in a low voice, I'll talk, but you must swear not to kill me. Otherwise, I'd rather die than speak. The 9 Lives Cat Emperor hesitated. It didn't want to swear, but seeing the Zon Turtle Overlord's stance, it seemed it would not speak without a vow. Knowing that if it didn't swear, it could kill the Zon Turtle Overlord after learning the secret, the Zon Turtle Overlord made such a demand, anticipating this. After thinking for a while, the 9 Lives Cat Emperor said, Fine, I won't kill you. But if you appear before me again, I won't keep my word. Okay, the Zon Turtle Overlord agreed. Immediately, the 9 Lives Cat Emperor made a vow, and only then did the Zon Turtle Overlord feel at ease. Speak. The 9 Lives Cat Emperor was almost impatient. The Zon Turtle Overlord began to reveal the great secret about the god-level beasts from 9,000 years ago. 9,000 years ago, the 9 beast overlords of that time seized 9 holy dragon fruits, each achieving the Dawn-level bloodline talent, and later became god-level beasts. As god-level beasts, their lifespan is at least 10,000 years, and some long-lived species god-level beasts can live for tens of thousands of years. Having just broken through to the god level, they naturally didn't want to leave this world, even wanting to thoroughly explore it. Our world, though not very powerful, has many secrets, like the holy dragon fruit. Even god-level beasts are curious about a tree that can forge Dawn-level bloodline talents. How incredible is that? The Zon Turtle Overlord started with a sigh, then got to the point. Not long after stepping into the realm of god-level beasts, they targeted the ocean and found a palace in a sea area. Then they discovered it was a dragon palace, belonging to a god-level dragon beast. As soon as the dragon palace was mentioned, the 9 Lives Cat Emperor exclaimed, There are dragon clans in our world. If Yi Tian were here, he would be astonished. He found many traces of dragons in the ape dragon beast world, but in this beast world, there weren't many dragon bloodlines, and even if there were, they were extremely diluted, like the so-called black dragon, which is just a sub-dragon with a thin bloodline, even inferior to a real sub-dragon. Among the 12 beast overlords, only it had a thin dragon clan bloodline, and the others had no dragon clan bloodline. Because the dragon clan bloodline is rare, the 9 Lives Emperor Cat hadn't heard of any dragon clan legends, which is why it was surprised by the Zon Turtle Overlord words. The 9 Lives Cat Emperor, your surprise is normal. The 9 god-level beasts back then were also very surprised, so they entered the dragon palace and discovered a secret. Shortly after they came out, they disappeared one after another. Said the Zon Turtle Overlord. Disappeared? The 9 Lives Cat Emperor was puzzled. Those were 9 god-level beasts, much more powerful than it, how could they just disappear? Is there anything else you're omitting? Speak quickly. The 9 Lives Cat Emperor felt the Zon Turtle Overlord must have more important things to say, so it questioned. The Zon Turtle Overlord sighed, indeed, there is another secret. The disappearance of the god-level beasts was not accidental, but inevitable. They were captured by the Dragon Clan, forcibly taken away. What? The 9 Lives Cat Emperor was shocked. The 9 god-level beasts had actually been forcibly taken away by the Dragon Clan. This secret was astonishing. How do you know this? Logically speaking, you were just an ordinary Emperor-level beast at the time, you shouldn't have known such a hidden matter. The 9 Lives Cat Emperor began to question. The Zon Turtle Overlord did not conceal the truth, saying, because among those 9 god-level beasts was one of my ancestors, a god-level Zon Turtle. Before leaving, it transmitted a message to the few remaining members of our Zon Turtle clan, saying that this planet is one of many subordinate planets of the Dragon Clan's territory, and also a planet for cultivating god-level beasts. Once a beast becomes a god-level beast, a god-level powerhouse of the Dragon Clan will descend and take away each god-level beast. Did your ancestor ever come back? The 9 Lives Cat Emperor asked. If it had come back, do you think you could have injured me to this extent today? The Zon Turtle Overlord said indignantly. True, the 9 Lives Cat Emperor chuckled. It roughly understood the situation. Once an Emperor-level beast breaks through to the god level, the strong ones from the Dragon Clan will come down here and take away the god-level beasts. As for what happens after being taken away, it had no idea. But one thing was very clear. Once taken away by the Dragon Clan, it would have to serve as a subordinate again. It was not born into a great beast clan, but merely had the fortune of possessing Moonlight-level bloodline talent and knew how to rely on powerful beasts, thus gradually making its way to this day. But it didn't want to repeat that path. In this beast world, if it became a god-level beast, it would be the supreme being among all beasts. But if taken away by the Dragon Clan, it might end up at the bottom, with even its life not guaranteed. It wasn't willing to fall to that point. But it was even less willing to give up on becoming a god-level beast, its ultimate goal. It looked up at the sky, where a thin layer above the firmament was the planet's protective layer. After becoming a god-level beast, the first thing I'll do is break through the membrane. I don't believe that once I enter the vast expanse of space, the Dragon Clan will still be able to find me. Then, the vastness of space will be mine to roam freely. The 9 Lives Cat Emperor thought so. After the Zon Turtle Overlord finished speaking, it said, 9 Lives Cat Emperor, this is all the secrets I know. May I leave now? You may leave. The 9 Lives Cat Emperor waved its paw, letting the Zon Turtle Overlord depart. As the Zon Turtle Overlord left, swimming towards the depths of the sea, it had no idea that the 9 Lives Cat Emperor's mouth curled into a sinister smile. 10 minutes later, the Zon Turtle Overlord had run very far, preparing to enter the deep sea to find a safe place to heal. Its injuries were too severe. If it didn't heal soon, it would really be in trouble. Suddenly, a figure appeared in its line of sight. 9 Lives Cat Emperor. The Zon Turtle Overlord heart sank, as if it realized something bad. 9 Lives Cat Emperor, didn't you promise not to kill me? The Zon Turtle Overlord hurriedly said. Whoosh. The 9 Lives Cat Emperor appeared in front of the Zon Turtle Overlord, saying, Zon Turtle Overlord, I did say I wouldn't kill you, but I also said something else. If I see you again, I won't keep my promise. We already parted ways just now, and this is the next time. You understand, right? You're deceitful. The Zon Turtle Overlord roared in anger. Not long after, a corpse floated on the sea, the body of the Zon Turtle Overlord, while the 9 Lives Cat Emperor had already disappeared. Poor turtle, I actually like him, he was nice to Etn. Chapter 242, Divine Body. Divine Power. Divine Soul. Originally, 4 ferocious beast overlords had already perished, and with the death of the Zon Turtle Overlord, there were now only 7 ferocious beast overlords left. Etn was unaware that the Zon Turtle Overlord had died, and the 7 ferocious beast overlords also did not know that a human was hunting their kind. Time passed slowly like this. In the blink of an eye, 10 days had elapsed. During these 10 days, Etn encountered another ferocious beast overlord, the Bailing Giant Snake. This beast overlord was even weaker than the Green Ox Overlord, and was also in the 11th stage of bloodline transformation. freewebnovel.com. Etn effortlessly slew the opponent, as well as the ferocious beasts that were spectating. With this, the 3rd ferocious beast overlord perished at his hands, and the number of beast overlords sharply decreased to 6. Originally, Etn wanted to continue searching for ferocious beast overlords to kill them one by one, but an event in the world of ferocious beasts caught his attention. In the distant seas, a colossal golden dragon phantom roared through the void, shaking the 4 seas, with its dragon's roar spreading across the land, covering the entire world of ferocious beasts at an incredible speed. For some unknown reason, even the beasts at extreme distances saw the golden dragon phantom. It seemed far away, yet appeared as if it was right before their eyes. And Yi Tian saw it too. That is, Yi Tian's heart was deeply shaken. Dragon, that was definitely a dragon's phantom. Although unclear if dragons existed there, such a phenomenon was astounding. He had only seen relics left by dragons in the ape dragon beast world, or the Dragonfall mountain formed from dragon corpses, but had never witnessed such a phenomenon. So, this world also has dragons. The strength of the dragon race is indeed formidable, spread across various beast worlds. Yi Tian thought to himself. Should I go, or not? Yi Tian was pondering over this question. Such a phenomenon indicated that something had happened there, perhaps the emergence of some treasure or other situations. Undeniably, the beast overlords would be interested in this phenomenon, and they might all rush there. Hence, if he went to the site of the phenomenon, he would inevitably encounter beast overlords. But with so many beast overlords present, he alone could not handle them. First, let's go and investigate the situation, Yi Tian decided. Immediately, he activated his invisibility talent and headed towards the site of the phenomenon. The Nine Lives Cat Emperor, having just left the sea area, gazed at the golden dragon phantom, showing a hint of shock in its eyes. Dragon, that place is. It thought of the dragon palace mentioned by the Zon turtle overlord, and the site of the phenomenon was likely in a certain sea area, possibly related to that dragon palace. To go or not, the Nine Lives Cat Emperor was also indecisive. It really didn't want to meddle with anything related to the dragon race, but it was somewhat unwilling to give up. Without a doubt, anything related to the dragon race was valuable, and perhaps obtaining a bit of fortune could even help it become a god-level ferocious beast, or even ascend to a higher level. Go, the Nine Lives Cat Emperor decided, thinking the phenomenon might have been caused by a beast overlord intruding into the dragon palace. If other beast overlords gained benefits, it wouldn't be content. Swoosh, the Nine Lives Cat Emperor flew towards the site of the phenomenon. In various parts of the beast world, the White Ape Beast Overlord, the Violent Wolf Beast Overlord, the Wind Demon Beast Overlord, the Blood Crow Beast Overlord, the Taishan Beast Overlord. These 5 overlords emerged from their seclusions, one after another, flying towards the site of the phenomenon. However, the fastest were naturally the emperor-level beasts near the sea area, rushing over and discovering a massive palace, occupying tens of thousands of miles. Outside the palace, an emperor-level beast overlord stood, gazing solemnly at the palace. It was none other than the golden-horned silver emperor, known as the #1 beast overlord. Its formidable aura oppressed a million miles of the sea, deterring many emperor-level beasts from approaching. At this moment, a reckless young emperor-level ferocious beast intruded into the sea domain of the golden-horned silver emperor, completely disregarding the implicit warnings of the golden-horned silver emperor. Die! A cold command echoed through the void. The next second, the emperor-level ferocious beast turned into a mist of blood, dying on the spot. This incident frightened many other emperor-level beasts, deterring them from approaching. They weren't foolish. With the golden-horned silver emperor present, none dared to come close. Not long after, a figure swiftly approached, arriving beside the golden-horned silver emperor. However, the golden-horned silver emperor only frowned and did not attack this beast. Because this beast was none other than the Nine Lives Cat Emperor, one of the ferocious beast overlords. Golden-horned silver emperor, so it's you. You're behind this phenomenon, aren't you? The Nine Lives Cat Emperor said. Even if it is me, what of it? The golden-horned silver emperor replied arrogantly, seemingly not taking the Nine Lives Cat Emperor seriously. Originally, other emperor-level beasts were stuck at the 10th bloodline transformation due to their cultivation talents, but the golden-horned silver emperor had the fortune to undergo an additional bloodline transformation, reaching the 11th stage, thereby overpowering other beast overlords and being acclaimed as the #1 beast overlord, unchallenged by anyone. Now, utilizing countless resources and treasures acquired earlier, it had completed 2 more bloodline transformations in a short time, elevating its bloodline transformation to the 13th stage, significantly strengthening its power, easily capable of defeating its former self. Therefore, it still did not regard the Nine Lives Cat Emperor as a threat. Offended by such disdain from the golden-horned silver emperor, the Nine Lives Cat Emperor angrily swiped a claw towards it. Boom! The 2 beast overlords collided. However, it was the golden-horned silver emperor who was sent flying, not the Nine Lives Cat Emperor. How can this be? The golden-horned silver emperor was shocked. Originally, the Nine Lives Cat Emperor was one of the weaker ones among the 12 great beast overlords, lucky to have snatched a holy dragon fruit. If it had wanted to kill the 9 Lives Cat Emperor, the latter would hardly have a chance to escape. But now, it was sent flying by a single claw strike from the 9 Lives Cat Emperor. A scan of the 9 Lives Cat Emperor's body revealed everything. How come it's only the 11th bloodline transformation, but your body, you are on the path of a god-level ferocious beast? Have you given up on the 12th and 13th bloodline transformations? The Golden Horned Silver Emperor was astonished. The 9 Lives Cat Emperor's body, while still an Emperor-level beast body, had a trace of divinity, the first step in refining a divine body. As an Emperor-level beast overlord of the 13th bloodline transformation, it was acutely aware of how to achieve god-level status. Divine body, divine power, divine soul. All 3 aspects were indispensable. Moonlight-level bloodline talent Emperor-level beasts couldn't even enter the threshold of a divine body, but Dawn-level bloodline talent Emperor-level beasts could evolve and refine their bodies towards a divine body. But once this path was taken, it was impossible to pursue the 14th bloodline transformation. It was aiming for the 14th bloodline transformation, but the 9 Lives Cat Emperor had already started transforming into a divine body at the 11th metamorphosis. Clearly, the 9 Lives Cat Emperor had completely abandoned further bloodline transformations. Hearing about the 12th and 13th bloodline transformations, the 9 Lives Cat Emperor seemed infuriated, roaring, "Golden Horned Silver Emperor, born into nobility, you know nothing of my struggles. To grow, I exhausted my foundations, and to complete the bloodline transformations, I resorted to certain methods. Otherwise, why would I transform into a divine body at just the 11th metamorphosis?" It too wanted to pursue the 12th metamorphosis but failed. Even with Dawn-level bloodline talent and countless resources, it still failed. In desperation, it had no choice but to transform into a divine body, embarking on the path to becoming a god-level ferocious beast. "I see." The Golden Horned Silver Emperor frowned. It was not afraid of the 9 Lives Cat Emperor, though the latter had begun transforming into a divine body and had made some progress. But the 9 Lives Cat Emperor's bloodline transformation was only at the 11th stage. Even if the latter's attack power was stronger, it had not displayed its full strength. In a real battle, the outcome was still uncertain. The 9 Lives Cat Emperor also knew it did not have a guaranteed victory, so it withdrew after one strike, not attacking further. At this moment, other beast overlords arrived. Chapter 243, Dragon Palace Teleportation Array, The Inheritance of the Powerful. The White Ape Beast Overlord. The Violent Wolf Beast Overlord. The Wind Demon Beast Overlord. freewebnovel.com. The Blood Crow Beast Overlord. The Taishan Beast Overlord. These 5 ferocious beast overlords arrived one after another, eyeing the Golden Horned Silver Emperor and the 9 Lives Cat Emperor with some apprehension. They had recognized the strength of the Golden Horned Silver Emperor and the 9 Lives Cat Emperor. The Golden Horned Silver Emperor, already the foremost among the ferocious beast overlords, had undergone 13 bloodline transformations. One could only imagine how much his strength had increased. The 9 Lives Cat Emperor, although having only 11 bloodline transformations, had partially transformed its body into a divine form, beginning the process of divine transformation. Its strength was now far superior to the others. Because of this, the 5 overlords banded together, fearing that the Golden Horned Silver Emperor and the 9 Lives Cat Emperor might turn against them. However, it was clear that neither the Golden Horned Silver Emperor nor the 9 Lives Cat Emperor had such intentions. If they had not known about the dragon race, the 9 Lives Cat Emperor might have desired to dominate this world of ferocious beasts and eliminate the other overlords. But now, it had no such desire. There was no necessity to kill the other ferocious beast overlords. Golden Horned Silver Emperor, you created this palace, didn't you? What exactly is going on? The 9 Lives Cat Emperor couldn't help but ask. The Golden Horned Silver Emperor remained silent for a while before speaking. "Well, I'll tell you. This is a dragon palace. I accidentally learned how to open it and wanted to enter to search for treasures, but I couldn't get in." "How do you know this is a dragon palace?" The 9 Lives Cat Emperor exclaimed in shock. It was surprised that the Golden Horned Silver Emperor knew about the dragon palace and seemed to understand it better than itself. At the very least, it knew of a dragon palace in the sea but not how to enter it or what was inside, whereas the Golden Horned Silver Emperor seemed quite knowledgeable about it. "The Turtle Overlord must not have told me everything, or perhaps it doesn't know much either," thought the 9 Lives Cat Emperor. "Golden Horned Silver Emperor, since you also can't enter, why not share with us? Maybe we have some ideas," suggested the Blood Crow Overlord. The Golden Horned Silver Emperor no longer concealed the truth, saying, "I won't lie to you all. My ancestor was a god-level ferocious beast and had some understanding of the Dragon Palace. Inside the Dragon Palace, there is a teleportation array. 9,000 years ago, a powerful dragon entered our world through this array and took away 9 god-level ferocious beasts. A teleportation array. The 9 Lives Cat Emperor was astounded. It had no idea about this and would have remained ignorant if the Golden Horned Silver Emperor had not revealed it. At this moment, it calculated internally. If the teleportation array were destroyed, would the powerful dragons be unable to cross over? No, initially, our world didn't have a teleportation array. It must have been established by the dragon race later. Even without the array, the powerful dragons could cross the starry sky to reach our world. The array just made it more convenient. With this thought, the 9 Lives Cat Emperor abandoned the idea of destroying the array. Destroying it might attract the attention of the dragon race, prompting them to send powerful god-level beings immediately. That would only bring trouble, leaving no way out. The 9 Lives Cat Emperor knew the secret of the god-level ferocious beasts being taken away, but the other 5 ferocious beast overlords did not. When they heard what the Golden Horned Silver Emperor said, they were stunned and then became fearful. Those 9 god-level ferocious beasts were taken by the dragon race. Is this why our world has never had any god-level ferocious beasts? What happened to them afterward? The overlords asked several questions in succession. The Golden Horned Silver Emperor shook his head. I don't know what happened to those 9 god-level ferocious beasts, but without a doubt, once a ferocious beast reaches the god level, it is taken away, without any exceptions. At this, the ferocious beast overlords fell silent, each lost in their thoughts. At this moment, the ferocious beast overlords fell silent, each with different thoughts in their minds. Golden Horned Silver Emperor, you've said so much, but you still haven't talked about the specifics of the Dragon Palace. What treasures inside could possibly interest you, or what specific method is there to enter the Dragon Palace, which you haven't met the conditions for? The 9 Lives Cat Emperor said. Then, the other ferocious beast overlords, recovering from their initial shock, all turned their attention to the Golden Horned Silver Emperor, waiting for his answer. This Dragon Palace was actually the secluded dwelling of a powerful dragon in its later years, guarding this world. It died here a long time ago, leaving behind its legacy. 9,000 years ago, 9 god-level ferocious beasts also tried to obtain this legacy but failed, though they gained some benefits. As for the method to enter the Dragon Palace, god-level ferocious beasts are able to force their way in, as the defense array of the Dragon Palace is not very strong. I thought I could break through the defense array, but I only managed to reveal the Dragon Palace, not break into it, the Golden Horned Silver Emperor explained truthfully. The legacy of a powerful dragon. Upon hearing this, the ferocious beast overlords were instantly intrigued. The dragon race is incredibly powerful, and the legacy of a dragon of great power could lead to their complete rise if they acquired it. The 9 Lives Cat Emperor was also tempted. If it acquired the legacy of a powerful dragon, it could roam the vastness of space. However, what these ferocious beast overlords did not know was that Yi Tian had also heard the words, Dragon Race Legacy. Dragon Race Legacy, Dragon Palace, Teleportation Array, dragons taking away god-level ferocious beasts. Yi Tian, hidden not far away, was shocked upon hearing these secrets. He finally understood why, despite having such heaven-defying items like the Holy Dragon Fruit that could create Dawn-level bloodline talents, there were no god-level ferocious beasts in this world of ferocious beasts. It turned out that these god-level ferocious beasts had all been taken away by the dragon race, leaving none behind. The Holy Dragon Tree might have been planted by the dragon race, so perhaps it's also a wondrous object. It seems the dragon race has a vast plan, affecting many ferocious beast worlds, using these worlds to strengthen the overall power of the dragon race. Yi Tian speculated. He was curious about the Dragon Palace. If he could obtain the legacy of the dragon race, it would be great. If not, it didn't matter, he couldn't let these ferocious beast overlords gain any advantage, or else they would become harder to kill. His next target to kill was the 9 Lives Cat Emperor. The 9 Lives Cat Emperor had already started transforming into a divine body, aiming for the god-level ferocious beast rank. Although it was unclear how long it would take for the 9 Lives Cat Emperor to become a god-level ferocious beast, he couldn't wait, otherwise, it would be too late if the 9 Lives Cat Emperor reached that level. It was true that the dragon race would take away god-level ferocious beasts, but what if they were late? Anything could happen, and he would not allow these accidents to occur. The best solution was to slay all these ferocious beast overlords. At this time, the 7 ferocious beast overlords began to discuss. They naturally wanted to enter the Dragon Palace, so they had to break the defense array. Let's join forces, proposed the 9 Lives Cat Emperor. Agreed. The golden-horned silver emperor consented. The other ferocious beast overlords also agreed. Consequently, the 7 great ferocious beast overlords began to attack the defense array outside the dragon palace. Boom, boom, boom. The defense array was shaken by the attacks of the 7 ferocious beast overlords, but it did not break. However, they felt that the defense array was about to give way, so they attacked with all their might. In secret, Yi Tian, watching the defense array, estimated it will probably take about an hour to break the array. He was ready at all times, prepared to follow them in as soon as the defense array broke. Chapter 244. Dragon Palace Herb Garden, Yi Tian's Method. An hour quickly passed. With a cracking sound, a crack appeared in the defensive array of the Dragon Palace. It was unrealistic to completely shatter the defensive array of the Dragon Palace. The 7 ferocious beast overlords did not intend to completely break the defensive array, they merely wanted to create an opening. Let's go in. The 9 lives Cat Emperor, the golden-horned Silver Emperor, and the other 5 ferocious beast overlords flew into the Dragon Palace one after another, followed by Yi Tian, who was invisible. Seeing the 7 ferocious beast overlords enter the Dragon Palace, many Emperor-level ferocious beasts from afar could no longer hold back and flew over. Soon, a large number of Emperor-level ferocious beasts broke into the Dragon Palace. However, the defensive array of the Dragon Palace began to heal. In less than a minute, the defensive array of the Dragon Palace completely healed, leaving not even a small crack. The slightly slower or hesitant Emperor-level ferocious beasts could only stand outside the defensive array, unable to enter for a long time. Even their attacks could not break the array. The Dragon Palace was vast with many passageways. Soon after entering, Yi Tian could no longer see the 7 ferocious beast overlords. The suppression of divine consciousness is very strong, even my copy talent is suppressed. Yi Tian thought to himself. Now, his copy talent had evolved after the void flower and had become much stronger than before. If it were his previous copy talent, it would have been suppressed by the laws of the realm, just like when he entered the temple ruins or the war god tower, making it difficult to probe others. But now, although his copy talent was suppressed, it wasn't severe. He could still sense creatures within a kilometer, and his copying and fusion weren't affected. Unfortunately, a kilometer was still too short. The bodies of the ferocious beast overlords were all over a kilometer in size, with only the 9 lives Cat Emperor being slightly smaller, at about 100 meters. Therefore, the coverage of Yi Tian's copy talent was still too limited. But for now, it was difficult for him to further upgrade his copy talent unless he obtained another treasure that could enhance it. There were many halls and buildings in the Dragon Palace, resembling a small space. However, many buildings were wrapped in arrays even stronger than the one protecting the Dragon Palace. Some buildings had no significant arrays, but they were empty. Clearly, the god-level ferocious beasts or the strong beings of the Dragon Palace must have visited these places, leaving nothing valuable behind. According to what the golden-horned Silver Emperor said, there might be a dragon's inheritance in the Dragon Palace. Perhaps the inheritance cannot be taken away, becoming the only benefit this generation can gain. Yi Tian speculated. Due to the lack of a map of the Dragon Palace and its mysterious nature, he didn't dare to move quickly and could only search slowly, wandering around. 10 minutes later, Yi Tian didn't find the place of the Dragon Clan's mighty inheritance but stumbled upon an unexpected surprise. Desire. It feels like my copy talent is desiring something. Yi Tian got excited. It had been a long time since he had felt this way, the last time being when he encountered the void flower. He didn't expect to encounter this feeling again, indicating that there was a treasure in that direction that could attract his copy talent, causing it to evolve and upgrade. His current copy talent was already very strong. He dared not imagine what it'd be like if it were to upgrade again. Opportunity. This was a great opportunity for him. Calm down, Yi Tian told himself inwardly. At the moment, he was unsure where the treasure was and whether he could obtain it, so he shouldn't get too excited. Suppressing his excitement, Yi Tian followed the desire in his heart and slowly flew towards it. Quickly, he discovered the golden-horned Silver Emperor and several ferocious beast overlords attacking a defensive shield. Inside the protective shield was a small herb garden, sparsely populated with a few spiritual herbs. However, these few herbs were obviously no ordinary items, but extremely precious treasures. Yi Tian's attention was immediately drawn to one of the herbs. This herb was a 9-leaf grass, golden throughout, with 9 leaves, each as sharp as a sword. A faint halo surrounded the 9-leaf grass, making it appear even more extraordinary. That's it. Yi Tian's inner desire told him that this 9-leaf grass was the treasure that stirred his copy talent's craving. freewebnovel.com. Boom, boom, boom. Several ferocious beast overlords attacked the herb garden's defense array frantically, but they couldn't make a dent. After 10 minutes of fruitless assault, they gave up. Golden Horned Silver Emperor, we can't break through the defense array. It seems we won't be able to get these remaining spiritual herbs, lamented the Blood Crow Overlord. The Golden Horned Silver Emperor also expressed regret. These herbs are all over 30,000 years old and have matured. If we can't take them now, the next time the Dragon Clan's powerhouses come, they will surely take them away. Alas, if it were the other herbs, it would be okay, they only enhance some strength. But that 9-star heaven grass is a legendary treasure that can transform talents, even causing incredible changes in mystic level talents and giving them additional properties. Such a treasure is extremely rare, it's such a pity to leave it behind. Golden Horned Silver Emperor, there's nothing we can do even if we don't want to give up. Even if all of us ferocious beast overlords join forces, we can't do anything about this defense array, said the Taishan Overlord. Let's go, said the Golden Horned Silver Emperor as he turned to leave. The other ferocious beast overlords also departed, leaving Yi Tian alone in his invisibility. Yi Tian approached the defense array and observed it. As a top-level array master, he understood arrays well. Though the array before him far surpassed the top-level arrays, even exceeding the Morning Star level and possibly reaching the Moonlight or even Dawn level. But that didn't mean he couldn't figure something out. For instance, this defensive array had a very strong defensive capability, strong enough that even God-level ferocious beasts couldn't break through, otherwise, the previous 9 God-level ferocious beasts would have already taken the spiritual herbs. But strong defense doesn't mean it's impenetrable. Let's try teleportation first. Yi Tian activated his space talent and attempted to teleport. However, his teleportation failed, unable to get him into the herb garden. Yi Tian then tested to see if a spatial blade could create a small opening to enter the herb garden. But when he activated the spatial blade, it was blocked by the defense array and couldn't break through. Clearly, the powerful being who set up this array had considered space talent users, leaving no such loophole. That leaves only one method. Yi Tian thought of the soul. The soul is the most mysterious aspect of humans, and he didn't believe that this array could block a soul. Ordinary people's souls cannot exist independently of the body, and forcibly entering the herb garden with a soul seemed pointless. So, the creator of this array probably didn't set up any measures against souls. Copy talent. Yi Tian enveloped the entire herb garden with his copy talent and carefully checked for any life forms. Such a large herb garden shouldn't be devoid of life. As expected, he indeed found some small life forms. Species: Golden Silk Earthworm. Bloodline talent: weak. Burrowing talent: top. Next, let's see if the top-level soul transfer talent can work. If it does, my soul can pass through the defense array and enter the body of a golden silk earthworm in the garden. Then, taking the spiritual herbs won't be difficult. Yi Tian thought to himself. Chapter 245, Soul Transfer, Copy Talent Transformation. Having activated his top-tier soul transfer talent, Yi Tian's physical body became immobile, as his soul had departed. At this moment, if a ferocious beast were to approach, Yi Tian would be in danger. Therefore, he had to hide his body well, ensuring that no beast could discover it. The thought of his body being destroyed was too dreadful to imagine. This concern for his physical form was why he rarely used his soul transfer talent. But this time, to induce a transformation in his copying talent, he had to take the risk. Yi Tian looked around and noticed a rockery not far from the herb garden. Then, Yi Tian moved to the rockery, concealing his body in the crevices between the rocks. Within the Dragon Palace, his divine consciousness was severely suppressed. Even if a beast came close, it might not easily find his physical body. To be extra cautious, Yi Tian also set up a concealment formation, adding an extra layer of protection. After everything was arranged, Yi Tian activated his top-tier soul transfer talent. Target: Golden Silk Earthworm. Whoosh! Yi Tian's soul transformed into a beam of light, piercing through the defensive formation and entering the herb garden, soon occupying the body of one of the golden silk earthworms. The golden silk earthworm was extremely weak compared to Yi Tian's soul, which was many times stronger. Yi Tian's soul entered the earthworm's body, instantly erasing its soul and successfully occupying it, completing the soul transfer. Herb Garden. Yi Tian's divine consciousness enveloped this new body, instantly confirming the successful soul transfer. This body is too weak, a weak-level talent, not even as strong as a martial warrior. Yi Tian couldn't help but sigh. If the herb garden had anything other than golden silk earthworms, he wouldn't have occupied such a weak creature. However, even with the beast-level golden silk earthworm, Yi Tian's talent was enough to exert tremendous strength, given his possession of numerous mystic-level talents, god-level talents, as well as space and time talents. Whoosh! Yi Tian, controlling the earthworm's body, burrowed out of the soil in the herb garden, his gaze fixed on the spiritual herbs. My target is the 9-star heaven grass. The 9-star heaven grass is too tough for a golden silk earthworm to chew, but I can manage it. freewebnovel.com. Yi Tian, using his flying talent, flew towards the 9-star heaven grass, pondering how to eat it. Right, the disguise talent. Yi Tian thought of this particular talent. The disguise talent would be extremely useful at this moment because the earthworm's mouth would struggle to consume the 9-star heaven grass, but disguised as another creature, this problem would be perfectly solved. Whoosh! Yi Tian instantly disguised himself as a human, equivalent to the realm of a martial disciple. Mystic level strength talent. Yi Tian activated his strength talent, and his power surged by 100 times. Originally possessing only a few hundred jin of strength, he suddenly had tens of thousands jin of force, the strength of a great martial warrior. A great martial warrior could certainly pluck a spiritual herb, no matter how miraculous it was, it couldn't stop Yi Tian's harvesting. Crack! Yi Tian successfully picked the 9-star heaven grass and then quickly consumed it. Immediately, the energy of the 9-star heaven grass surged into Yi Tian's soul, rapidly absorbed by the copying talent imprint. Boom! The entire energy of the 9-star heaven grass burst forth, and Yi Tian, as before, gloriously passed out. After an unknown amount of time, Yi Tian slowly woke up. At this moment, Yi Tian had reverted to the state of the golden silk earthworm's body, clearly unable to maintain the disguise talent after fainting. My copying talent. Upon waking, Yi Tian's first action was to communicate with the imprint of his copying talent with his consciousness to check the changes in it. After a long while, Yi Tian laughed uncontrollably, but being in the body of a golden silk earthworm, there was no sound, only a dripping noise. At this time, Yi Tian was extremely excited because the changes in his copying talent were significant. Firstly, the range of influence. His copying talent could now cover all beings within 100,000 meters, and it could automatically filter talents. For instance, he could issue a command to only search for beings with top-tier cultivation talent and above. Thus, all the talents Yi Tian saw belonged to those with top-tier cultivation talent and above, automatically ignoring those who didn't reach this level. This ability was incredibly convenient, saving Yi Tian a lot of time. Previously, when he covered a large area with people, the myriad talents before his eyes made it hard to focus, and selecting the needed talents from among them was very troublesome. But now, a filtering function allowed Yi Tian to easily find the talents he needed. However, that wasn't the truly surprising part. The real surprise was that the cooldown time of the copying talent had reduced to 1 day, allowing for 2 copies per day, eliminating any concern over opportunities to use the talent. Moreover, the copying talent now had an additional passive attribute, the unstrippable attribute. This meant that the copy talent would forever belong to Yi Tian, and no one could strip it away. Previously, Yi Tian often worried whether there was a talent in the world capable of stripping others' talents. If such a talent existed, he feared his copy talent might be taken. But now, he didn't need to worry. The addition of a passive attribute meant that no one could strip his copy talent. This attribute was more powerful than any ability, seemingly useless on a normal day but invaluable when encountering someone with a stripping talent. The 9-star heaven grass had been consumed by Yi Tian, and he decided not to touch the other spiritual herbs. It wasn't that he didn't want them, but that he couldn't take them. Even if consumed, these herbs would enhance the cultivation of the golden silk earthworm, a body he didn't need, making it a waste to enhance its cultivation. Moreover, it's always good to leave room for maneuver and not overly offend the dragon clan. It's time to leave. Yi Tian deactivated the soul transfer talent. The next moment, Yi Tian's soul passed through the defensive formation, leaving behind the corpse of the golden silk earthworm in the herb garden. Boom! Upon the return of his soul, Yi Tian exhaled deeply, feeling much more relaxed. Occupying the body of the golden silk earthworm had been an odd experience, and his own body felt much better. My body is fine, seems it wasn't discovered by any of the emperor-level beasts. Probably because the dragon palace is vast and not many emperor-level beasts have entered, hence none came here. Yi Tian felt lucky, his copying talent had transformed, making this trip to the dragon palace a great success. Even if there were no gains from the dragon clan's legacy, he wouldn't be disappointed. Let's go. Yi Tian left the herb garden and set out to find the legacy of the Dragon Clan's powerhouse. In the blink of an eye, half an hour had passed. Yi Tian visited many places, encountered numerous emperor-level beasts, but he was in an invisible state, and these beasts couldn't detect him, nor was he interested in killing these weaker emperor-level beasts. After some searching, at last, Yi Tian found the legacy left by the Dragon Clan's powerhouse. Chapter 246, Bronze Claw Skill, Little Azure Dragon Claw. In front of a majestic hall, numerous emperor-level ferocious beasts gathered. These beasts, in groups of 2s and 3s, were discussing matters related to the legacy of the great powers. At this moment, Yi Tian arrived here, no longer remaining invisible. After all, if he continued to stay invisible, how could he enter this legacy hall? The entrance to this legacy hall was clearly guarded by a formation, which only beasts of a certain strength level could penetrate. To enter, he must break through this formation. Thus, once he entered the formation in his invisible state, he would inevitably become visible. Considering this, it was better to reveal himself from the start and disguise himself as an emperor-level ferocious beast, which would be more convenient. Whoosh! Yi Tian, disguised as a golden ape-like emperor-level ferocious beast, approached the legacy hall. Another emperor-level beast has arrived. It seems it also wants to enter the Dragon Clan's legacy hall. I bet it can't make it through. Even I couldn't get in, so how could it? What if it's really strong? We don't know its talent, so how can we be sure it won't make it? There are only so many famous powerful emperor-level beasts in our world. If it was really that strong, how could I have never heard of it? It must be a weak emperor-level beast without any special talent. Just then, a force of spatial power descended, instantly immobilizing the surrounding space. In an instant, the few emperor-level beasts that had just scorned Yi Tian were compressed by this spatial force, turning into a mist of blood and falling on the spot. Seeing this, the pupils of the other emperor-level beasts constricted, and a sense of fear spread. Swish, swish, swish. The emperor-level beasts made way, lowering their heads. HMPH. Yi Tian snorted coldly and then walked towards the entrance of the legacy hall. He then punched into the hall, entering with his whole body. At this time, the few emperor-level beasts that had spoken about Yi Tian collapsed in fear. They felt extremely fortunate, glad that they only mentioned Yi Tian but didn't speak ill of him. Otherwise, they would have been the ones turned into blood mist. In the world of ferocious beasts, the law of the jungle prevails. Once killed, other beasts would not seek justice for you. Yi Tian didn't need to kill those few emperor-level beasts, but since they annoyed him, he killed them. Such are the rules in the world of beasts. Survival of the fittest. Without strength, one should not comment on or approach powerful beasts, otherwise, they wouldn't even know how they died. Clearly, those few emperor-level beasts brought it upon themselves. Inside the legacy hall, as Yi Tian ventured deeper, he felt a heavy pressure, an invisible dragon might. Suddenly, Yi Tian was transported by a force into a space, where he saw a group of emperor-level beasts, a total of 23. The 7 beast overlords are not here. Yi Tian thought to himself. Here comes another one. An emperor-level beast glanced at Yi Tian and muttered, then continued to look at the stone steel. The stone steel was ancient, with only a dragon claw imprint on it. Curious, Yi Tian also looked at the dragon claw steel. Boom! His consciousness seemed to see a majestic azure dragon, standing in the stars, gently extending a claw, and then with a grab, a vast expanse of space was shattered by the claw. At the same time, a piece of information entered Yi Tian's mind. It's actually about creating a claw technique. Yi Tian was surprised. He also realized what this space was for. It was clearly an assessment space used by the Dragon Clan's mighty beings to select inheritors, and there should be more than one inheritance assessment, as he didn't see the 7 beast overlords. Claw techniques were also classified into black iron, bronze, silver, gold, and legendary levels. This time, the assessment was very simple. Just creating a black iron level claw technique would allow one to pass the assessment. Under normal circumstances, only beings with a natural talent for claw techniques can create them. However, there are exceptions. If one has good comprehension skills or some understanding of claw techniques, it's possible to create a lower-level black iron claw technique, though it may not be possible to cultivate it further. Like Yi Tian, if you give him a book on claw techniques, wouldn't he understand it? Yes, he would understand it, but without the talent for claw techniques, even if he managed to learn it, it would only be a form without real power. If Yi Tian were to create a silver or gold level claw technique, it would be highly unlikely. However, the assessment in this space only requires the creation of a black iron level claw technique. Moreover, the stone steel had just released an imprint, allowing one to witness a dragon performing a claw technique. Even a slight understanding could give hope to create a claw technique. If one truly can't create a claw technique, it only proves that the individual's comprehension is not up to par, meaning their cultivation level and insight are insufficient. Because with high cultivation and extensive knowledge, one could still create a black iron level claw technique. These emperor-level beasts have probably been trying for a long time but are still unable to create a claw technique, clearly showing their lack of comprehension. But for Yi Tian, this is too simple. He possessed a top-level comprehension talent, which amplified his comprehension by 20 times. Not to mention a black iron level claw technique, given time, he could even create a bronze level one. Should I attempt to comprehend a black iron level claw technique, or try for a bronze level one? Yi Tian started to hesitate. He felt that this assessment might be linked to the final inheritance. If he only creates a weak black iron level technique, it might lead to failure in obtaining the inheritance, which would be a great loss. After a few seconds of thought, Yi Tian made his decision. He decided to create a bronze level claw technique. He has a high level time talent, which can accelerate time by 10 times, so he's not worried about the time constraint. He also has a top-level comprehension talent, which increases his comprehension by 20 times, so there's no worry about comprehension either. Therefore, if he doesn't attempt to create a bronze-level claw technique and fails in obtaining the inheritance, he would definitely regret it. 10 times time acceleration. Yi Tian hid on one side, secretly activating the time acceleration, covering only the area around him. Immediately, he also activated his top-level comprehension talent, increasing his comprehension 20-fold. Comprehend the claw technique steel. Yi Tian continued to gaze at the steel, comprehending and creating simultaneously. The claw technique performed by the dragon on the steel was likely a legendary level technique. The dragon's cultivation was incredibly high, definitely above the god level, which caused such a terrifying destructive display. freewebnovel.com. Comprehending a legendary level claw technique and constructing a bronze level one from it was not too difficult. With Yi Tian's supreme cultivation talent, emperor-level cultivation, and 20-fold comprehension amplification, there was a great hope for creating a bronze-level claw technique. Time passed by. In the blink of an eye, 1 day passed in the outside world, but under the accelerated time, Yi Tian had already spent 10 days. After 10 days, he finally created a bronze-level claw technique. Yi Tian named this technique, Little Azure Dragon Claw. This technique still bore the shadow of the Azure Dragon's Claw technique and could be said to be derived from it, so calling it Little Azure Dragon Claw was appropriate. After creating the technique, Yi Tian deactivated his time and comprehension talents. Next, Yi Tian uploaded the information about the Little Azure Dragon Claw into the steel using a method of consciousness transfer. The next instant, a beam of light wrapped around Yi Tian and left the space. What? The golden ape actually created a black iron level claw technique and passed the assessment. Many emperor-level beasts were shocked. One of them speculated, perhaps it just so happened that he has a talent for claw techniques, which is why he was able to create a black iron level technique so quickly. The other beasts nodded in agreement, unwilling to believe that the golden ape, similar in cultivation to them, could create a black iron level technique so quickly while they were still clueless. They concluded that Yi Tian must have a natural talent for claw techniques, as this was the only reasonable explanation. Little did they know that Yi Tian possessed supreme cultivation talent and top-level comprehension talent, and he was also a human. Chapter 247. Stopping at the third layer, the huge corpse in the void. Where is this? Yi Tian found himself transported to a vast land, surrounded by trees. Above the sky, there was even a sun, making this place seem like a world of its own. Did I leave the Legacy Hall? Or is this world within the Legacy Hall? Yi Tian was puzzled, but soon, he was stunned. This isn't my body. Yi Tian realized he had become a dragon, a small cyan dragon, with a cultivation level around that of a king. Moreover, he discovered that his copy talent and other talents had disappeared. No, this isn't my body. If I'm not mistaken, I should now be a consciousness occupying this body. No, this body might not even be real, perhaps it's something akin to a virtual world. Yi Tian speculated. Sure enough, soon, a piece of information entered Yi Tian's consciousness. This information primarily told him that this was a fictional world and also a part of the assessment. His consciousness had been stripped a bit and entered this world. As for his real body, it was sleeping in an isolated space, safe and sound. The assessment task was to use this little cyan dragon's body to fight in Area 09 for 1 day. If he survived for a day, he could enter the second layer of the fictional world for further assessment. The protection period was 10 minutes. After that, many ferocious beasts would come to hunt him down. Additionally, this little cyan dragon body only had Morning Star level bloodline talent, top-level claw technique talent, top-level strength talent, top-level defense talent, and top-level speed talent, and no other talents. Indeed, creating claw techniques is related to the following assessments. I created a bronze-level claw technique, giving me an advantage. But this is just an advantage, not the only one. Yi Tian thought to himself. He guessed that this fictional world must have treasures to enhance talents and strength. If he obtained those treasures, the strength of this little cyan dragon would increase significantly. 10 minutes, no time to waste. Yi Tian hurried to find treasures. 1 minute passed, 2 minutes passed, 3 minutes passed. Finally, in the 5th minute, Yi Tian found a cyan grass full of vitality. It was obviously not ordinary, and there was a large black bear guarding it. King Beast. Yi Tian assessed the opponent's strength. Without a second thought, Yi Tian charged forward. Top-level strength talent, Little Cyan Dragon Claw. The claw technique, combined with the strength talent, made the power of the Little Cyan Dragon Claw terrifyingly strong. Swoosh. With one claw, the black bear king beast was instantly killed. Immediately, Yi Tian swallowed the grass. Quickly, Yi Tian discovered he had gained a new talent, healing talent. Touching the talent mark, he knew it was an intermediate healing talent. Although not very high, it was still a life-saving skill, enough to give him some hope. Keep searching. In the 10th minute, Yi Tian found a flower that could enhance some bloodline strength and improve cultivation. freewebnovel.com. The cultivation path of ferocious beasts is to temper the bloodline and physical body. As long as the bloodline continues to improve, strength will break through. This little cyan dragon's body was only at the early stage of king level, having just broken through recently. Thus, after consuming the flower, his strength more than doubled. The 10th minute passed, and under an invisible influence, some ferocious beasts started heading towards Yi Tian. Roar, roar, roar. Many king beasts surged forward, their ferocious aura crushing everything in their path, turning giant trees into dust. The battle began. Kill. Yi Tian activated his strength talent, used the bronze-level claw technique Little Cyan Dragon Claw, and slaughtered all around, killing one king beast after another. At this moment, he was like a true dragon, dominating the battlefield. However, Yi Tian was not the only one who had entered this fictional world. Other 7 ferocious beast overlords and a few emperor-level ferocious beasts had also arrived in this fictional world. But their situation was not as good as Yi Tian's. Dash. Far away, a small cyan dragon was fleeing at high speed, its body covered in wounds, with most of its scales gone, looking utterly miserable. Damn it, if I had my talents and cultivation level, how could you ants hurt me? The small cyan dragon roared. It, like Yi Tian, had also occupied the body of a small cyan dragon in this fictional world. Its true identity was the Blood Crow Overlord. Unfortunately, every creature that came here started the same, as a small cyan dragon that had just stepped into the king level not long ago, with identical talents. The only difference was the claw techniques they mastered. If one inherently possessed claw technique talents and mastered powerful claw techniques, they would have a huge advantage in this fictional world. Sadly, the Blood Crow Overlord did not have any claw techniques, so it couldn't have an advantage. I guess I won't last, I'll definitely be eliminated. Aside from the 9 Lives Cat Emperor, who has a high-level claw technique talent, the other beast overlords don't have it. This time, perhaps the 9 Lives Cat Emperor will reap the benefits. The Blood Crow Overlord thought so. Suddenly, a group of king beasts blocked its path. Not good. The Blood Crow Overlord was terrified. Quickly, this group of king beasts surrounded the severely injured Blood Crow Overlord and killed it. The Blood Crow Overlord was eliminated. However, the Blood Crow Overlord was not the only beast overlord to be eliminated, the others were also eliminated one by one. Yi Tian, unaware of the situation of the beast overlords, continued to fight fiercely, slaying one ferocious beast after another. While killing, he looked for treasures that could be useful to him, using them to forcibly enhance his strength. After all, this was just a virtual body, and exhausting its potential wouldn't affect anything. Time passed by, and Yi Tian, amidst constant battles, devoured the bodies of other ferocious beasts and treasures, becoming increasingly powerful. Finally, a day had passed. Boom! A light enveloped Yi Tian, transporting him away again. The next instant, Yi Tian arrived at another world. The second layer of the fictional world, Yi Tian murmured. Similarly, he had to spend a day in the second layer of the fictional world. The ferocious beasts here were much stronger than the first layer, and without powerful strength, it was impossible to survive for long. Relying on the intermediate healing talent and the bronze-level claw technique Little Cyan Dragon Claw, Yi Tian fought hard in the second layer of the fictional world and barely survived a day with grave injuries. The third layer of the fictional world. The ferocious beasts here were even more terrifying. Yi Tian only survived for half an hour before being surrounded and killed by a group of fearsome beasts. Yi Tian stopped at the third layer. In the Legacy Hall, a certain isolated space. Yi Tian woke up, checked his body, and found it was his own, which made him breathe a sigh of relief. I made it through the third layer, and luckily, I got quite a few treasures to enhance my strength. Even some ferocious beasts with claw technique talents and tempered techniques might not have performed as well as me. Yi Tian thought to himself. Just then, a token appeared in his hand. What is this? Yi Tian was puzzled. He tried to put the token into his spatial ring but couldn't, so he reluctantly put it in his pocket. Suddenly, a familiar teleportation occurred. The next moment, Yi Tian was teleported out of the isolated space. At that moment, he arrived in an incredibly vast void, and in the center of the void, a huge corpse completely shocked him. That is, Chapter 248, The Talents of the Azure Dragon Corpse. Inside this orb of light was a grass, shaped somewhat like a dragon's claw, looking extraordinarily unique. When Yi Tian's consciousness touched this orb, a piece of information was transmitted. Divine Dragon Claw Root Grass, 100,000 years old, can grant a 50% chance for pure blood dragon clan members to develop a Morning Star level claw technique talent. Yi Tian was astonished. Such a treasure was incredibly precious, capable of bestowing Morning Star level claw technique talents. How could something so valuable be simply lying here? The other treasures in this area paled in comparison to this Divine Dragon Claw Root Grass, didn't they? Suddenly, Yi Tian understood. This Divine Dragon Claw Root Grass was only effective for members of the Pure Blood Dragon Clan, and useless to other creatures. That's why it was left here. Non-Dragon Clan members, even if they discovered it, would not choose it. A treasure is only a treasure if it suits one's needs, otherwise, it's not a treasure. If other ferocious beast lords could come here, they would definitely not choose the Divine Dragon Claw Root Grass, as it was of no use to them. But Yi Tian needed this Divine Dragon Claw Root Grass. Because he had a dragon clan pet, the War-Blood Sky Dragon, Xiao Shui. Xiao Shui was a War-Blood Sky Dragon, a true pure blood dragon with extremely pure bloodline and possessing Dawn-level bloodline talent, second only to this Azure Dragon powerhouse. Unfortunately, Xiao Shui lacked claw technique talent. If Xiao Shui obtained this claw technique talent, its strength would be incredibly formidable. For Xiao Shui, this Divine Dragon Claw Root Grass was undoubtedly a fate-changing treasure, incomparable to other items. If Xiao Shui refines the Divine Dragon Claw Root Grass, there's a 50% chance of developing Morning Star level claw technique talent, and I can also copy Xiao Shui's Morning Star level claw technique talent. This is a double gain. With Xiao Shui's Morning Star level claw technique talent, combined with the Azure Dragon's Morning Star level talent, I can merge two Morning Star level claw techniques and hopefully gain Moonlight level claw technique talent in the future. Yi Tian thought excitedly. Chosen. Yi Tian grabbed the orb and took the Divine Dragon Claw Root Grass. Such a treasure, the sooner he got it, the better, in case other ferocious beast lords could come here and plan to keep it for future trade with the Pure Blood Dragon clan, which would be a great regret for him. Swoosh. The Divine Dragon Claw Root Grass was collected by Yi Tian into his personal space, settling his heart. He had already obtained one of the three treasures and could still obtain two more. Yi Tian was not in a hurry, searching slowly. There were many treasures here, and there was bound to be something suitable for him. Suddenly, a figure flew by not far from him, heading further away, instantly entering the 100,000 meters range of the Azure Dragon's corpse. The Nine Lives Cat Emperor. Yi Tian's expression changed. The Nine Lives Cat Emperor's strength is not weaker than mine, but definitely not stronger. However, it directly entered the 100,000 meters range of the Azure Dragon's corpse, clearly due to the token. It seems that it has passed the third layer of the illusory world and obtained a higher level token. Yi Tian speculated. He wasn't surprised that the Nine Lives Cat Emperor had passed the third layer of the illusory world. After all, it possessed high-level claw technique talent and must have refined silver-level claw techniques. Its strength in the illusory world, using the small Azure Dragon's body, far surpassed others. With such strength, the chances of obtaining many treasures and passing the third layer were high. 9 lives Cat Emperor, you probably can obtain 4 treasures. When I kill you, your treasures will be mine. Yi Tian thought secretly. Regardless of whether to eliminate the threat of ferocious beasts for humanity or for himself, he must kill the 9 lives Cat Emperor. If he doesn't kill the 9 lives Cat Emperor this time, it might soon become a god-level ferocious beast, and with the 4 treasures from the Azure Dragon powerhouse, its strength would be even more terrifying. freewebnovel.com. If Yi Tian didn't kill the 9 lives Cat Emperor this time, it might soon evolve into a god-level ferocious beast, especially after obtaining the 4 treasures from the Azure Dragon powerhouse, making it even more formidable. Therefore, he was determined to eliminate the 9 lives Cat Emperor at all costs. He continued his search for treasures. Yi Tian wasn't just searching in this particular area, he also explored further regions. Some treasures, although of a lower grade, could be of higher value to him if they were useful, even more so than some rare and precious treasures. He was looking for treasures useful to him, not just the precious ones. A few hours later, another treasure caught Yi Tian's attention. It was a meteorite, dark golden in color, emitting a faint glow. After his consciousness touched the orb of light, Yi Tian learned about the origin of this meteorite. Jengjin stone, similar to treasures like exotic fire, can help metal attribute emperor-level cultivators break their physical limits. However, it probably requires mystic-level metal attributes, and it can also forge an innate sword body. Luckily, I possess sword technique talent, specifically Morning Star level sword technique talent, so I should be able to use the Jengjin stone to forge an innate sword body. Yi Tian thought excitedly. But he didn't immediately choose the Jengjin stone, preferring to look around more. He only had 2 chances left, and there were still many treasures he hadn't seen. If he found something better later, he would regret using up his chances. After all, the Jengjin stone wasn't much help to these beast lords, who lacked sword technique talents and wouldn't foolishly waste a chance on it. Yi Tian left to continue checking other treasures. Time passed by. Half a day later, the other ferocious beast lords left this space, having chosen their treasures. Even the 9 lives Cat Emperor had left this void space. But Yi Tian believed these beast lords probably wouldn't leave the Dragon Palace, at least not for a short while, perhaps looking for teleportation arrays or other opportunities. Therefore, he wasn't worried about them escaping. Unknowingly, a day was almost up. Yi Tian returned to where the Jengjin stone was, grabbed the orb of light, and took the Jengjin stone, placing it into his personal space. He had nearly seen all the treasures, and among them, the Jengjin stone was temporarily the most useful to him. After some thought, he decided to take the Jengjin stone, maximizing his benefit. The other treasures might be useful to him in the future, but were currently of no use, so it was better not to take them. The third and final treasure Yi Tian chose was a legacy of formation techniques, comprising 3 moonlight-level formation blueprints, 20 morning star-level formation blueprints, and over 1,000 top-level formation blueprints, making up a complete legacy of formation techniques. Yi Tian had prepared to copy the moonlight-level formation talent of the Azure Dragon powerhouse, and now that he saw this formation legacy, it was a perfect opportunity to utilize the formation talent he was about to acquire. Of course, he couldn't take the third treasure yet. Once he did, he would be immediately transported away, losing the chance to copy the moonlight-level formation talent and morning star-level claw technique talent from the Azure Dragon's corpse. He waited patiently, for the cooldown time of copying talents to end. I can copy again now. Yi Tian was extremely excited. Immediately, he hurried to a location close to 100,000 meters, preparing to use teleportation to copy the 2 talents from the Azure Dragon. Teleportation, Chapter 249, 3 Treasures. In an instant, Yi Tian teleported to a location 100,000 meters away from the corpse of the Azure Dragon, and immediately, a terrifying pressure assaulted him. His physical body shattered. Blood flowed freely. Yi Tian hastily copied the Azure Dragon's Morning Star level claw technique talent and the Moonlight level formation talent, and then teleported away again. Outside the 10,000 meter radius of the Azure Dragon's corpse, Yi Tian took a deep breath. The injuries on his body healed rapidly under the dual recovery effects of the healing talent and the Mystic level life talent, almost instantly returning to normal. The Mystic level life talent, copied from the Azure Dragon, had already been successfully integrated. The life talent was incredibly powerful, capable of healing all injuries and restoring vitality. As long as one did not die, it was possible to recover using the life talent, except for soul injuries, against which the life talent was powerless. The healing talent, in a sense, could be considered a branch of the life talent, which made the life talent even more powerful and incredible. freewebnovel.com. After his injuries healed, Yi Tian did not go to retrieve the formation inheritance but immediately began to integrate the Morning Star level claw technique talent and the Moonlight level formation talent. This place, devoid of ferocious beasts, was the perfect spot for integrating talents. Boom! The integration began. 10 minutes later, the integration of the Morning Star level claw technique talent was successful. After resting for half an hour, Yi Tian also successfully integrated the Moonlight level formation talent. With the talents integrated, Yi Tian approached the sphere of formation inheritance and took the inheritance pearl. The next moment, a repelling force came, and Yi Tian was teleported away. When Yi Tian regained his senses, he found himself standing inside the Hall of Inheritance, holding an inheritance pearl in his hand. With a thought, he stored the inheritance pearl in his personal space, to be examined later. Exiting the Hall of Inheritance, Yi Tian saw bodies strewn all over the ground, all of which were the corpses of the previously encountered Emperor-level ferocious beasts, including one he had seen in the Azure Dragon's treasure-filled void, an Emperor-level ferocious beast that had clearly developed claw techniques and had the opportunity to receive a reward. But now, it too lay dead here. It must have been the work of those ferocious beast overlords. Yi Tian guessed. He even wondered if these ferocious beast overlords might have turned on each other. This possibility was not unfounded. The reason the 9 god-level ferocious beasts did not turn on each other 9,000 years ago was due to the small gap in their strengths. Moreover, after leaving the Dragon Palace, they were quickly taken away by the powerful dragons. Now, these ferocious beast overlords, not having become god-level ferocious beasts, had entered the Dragon Palace earlier and might turn on each other for treasures. After all, the treasures of the Great Azure Dragon were immensely precious, and any small item would be a treasure in the outside world. For the sake of benefits, what wouldn't ferocious beasts do? Killing ferocious beasts to snatch treasures was quite normal in their world. Yi Tian searched the Dragon Palace for a while and hypnotized an Emperor-level ferocious beast to learn that the ferocious beast overlords had just left. The ferocious beast overlords indeed found the teleportation array, but they left shortly after entering the teleportation hall and left the Dragon Palace directly. Clearly, they also knew that there was nothing worthwhile left in the Dragon Palace and that staying any longer would be a waste of time. The first to leave were the Blood Crow Overlord and 5 other overlords, followed by the Golden Horned Silver Emperor and the 9 Lives Cat Emperor. Perhaps there will be a great battle. Yi Tian hurriedly ran towards the outside of the Dragon Palace. Soon, Yi Tian exited the Dragon Palace, easily passed through the Grand Formation, and arrived in the outside world. The Grand Formation of the Dragon Palace was designed to prevent outside creatures from entering, but it did not restrict those inside from leaving. Therefore, Yi Tian was not hindered by the Grand Formation. As soon as he left the formation, Yi Tian became invisible. Boom, boom, boom. In the distant sea, the ferocious beast overlords were engaged in a fierce battle. Because the battle was so intense, Yi Tian became invisible as soon as he emerged, avoiding their notice. At that moment, the battle was heavily tilted in favor of the Golden Horned Silver Emperor and the 9 Lives Cat Emperor, who completely dominated the other 5 ferocious beast overlords, even severely wounding them. The Golden Horned Silver Emperor, 9 Lives Cat Emperor, don't go too far. We, with our Dawn-level bloodline talents, were nurtured by the Dragon Clan's fruits. If you two step into the god-level ferocious beast realm soon, and the powerful dragons arrive to find only you two as god-level ferocious beasts, they will discover it was your doing and you'll be punished, shouted the Blood Crow Overlord. The 9 Lives Cat Emperor continued to attack without hesitation, even sneering, Blood Crow Overlord, you'll be dead soon. The survival of the fittest among ferocious beasts and mutual slaughter is very normal. Soon, the Blood Crow Overlord was killed by the 9 Lives Cat Emperor, who then took all the treasures from its body. Meanwhile, the Golden Horned Silver Emperor killed the Taishan Overlord and began to pursue the other ferocious beast overlords. In a short while, all 5 ferocious beast overlords were slain by the Golden Horned Silver Emperor and the 9 Lives Cat Emperor, and their treasures were plundered. Thus, only 2 ferocious beast overlords remained in this world. Hidden in the shadows, Yi Tian muttered to himself, the death of these 5 ferocious beast overlords is convenient, it saves me the trouble of taking action. He continued to observe, not leaving. The Golden Horned Silver Emperor and the 9 Lives Cat Emperor also stayed, hiding their presence and waiting in ambush for other Emperor-level ferocious beasts to emerge from the Dragon Palace. Clearly, they planned to eliminate all the Emperor-level ferocious beasts from the Dragon Palace, leaving none alive. Perhaps some Emperor-level ferocious beast-possessed treasures obtained from the inheritance hall. Even a single such treasure was enough to entice them. As time passed, one after another, Emperor-level ferocious beasts emerged. But as soon as they did, they were slain by the golden-horned Silver Emperor and the 9 Lives Cat Emperor. In the blink of an eye, over 10 days passed. On this day, the Dragon Palace began to tremble, gradually becoming hidden, and disappeared from the surface of the sea. Yi Tian sensed that the Dragon Palace was now in some space within the sea area, and it would probably be difficult to make it reappear. In the distance, the golden-horned Silver Emperor and the 9 Lives Cat Emperor glanced at each other warily, then each went their separate ways. Yi Tian followed the 9 Lives Cat Emperor, not choosing the golden-horned Silver Emperor, as the latter did not seem intent on reaching the god-level ferocious beast realm for the time being, whereas the 9 Lives Cat Emperor was already on the path to transforming into a divine body. Thus, the 9 Lives Cat Emperor became his first hunting target. The 9 Lives Cat Emperor flew for a long time, finally leaving the sea and heading towards its lair. Suddenly, a force of spatial power descended, immobilizing the void and freezing this part of space. Space talent. The 9 Lives Cat Emperor was shocked. This spatial suppression was strong, indicating that this unexpected enemy was no ordinary Emperor-level being. Boom! The 9 Lives Cat Emperor's divine consciousness swept through the area. As Yi Tian activated his space talent, his invisibility talent naturally could not be maintained. His figure appeared in the distance and was immediately spotted by the 9 Lives Cat Emperor. At this moment, Yi Tian was still in his disguised state, looking like a golden monkey. "It's you." The 9 Lives Cat Emperor recognized Yi Tian, as it had seen him in the Azure Dragon's treasure trove. Before, it was puzzled why Yi Tian had not appeared, planning to hunt Yi Tian for treasures. But throughout, Yi Tian never emerged. It thought Yi Tian had died in the slaughter among the Emperor-level ferocious beasts in the Dragon Palace, but unexpectedly, Yi Tian had now appeared before it. "I'll kill him, and the treasures will be mine." The 9 Lives Cat Emperor's face showed a greedy expression. Chapter 250. The Slaughter Among Ferocious Beast Overlords. TL. Yu Yong. PR. EtudeFreeWebNovel.com. Boom. Yi Tian engaged in combat with the 9 Lives Cat Emperor. Immediately, Yi Tian activated his soul spike talent. His soul power transformed into a spike, piercing towards the soul of the 9 Lives Cat Emperor. However, the 9 Lives Cat Emperor just shook its head, without even a scream. Soul talent. Haha, I would have feared your soul talent before, but I obtained a soul treasure in the Hall of Inheritance which protects my soul. Your soul attacks barely harm me, boasted the 9 Lives Cat Emperor proudly. Soul talent is useless. Yi Tian's expression turned grave. The strength of the 9 Lives Cat Emperor was far greater than that of Emperor-level ferocious beasts like the Green Ox Overlord. With the ineffectiveness of his soul attack talent, killing the 9 Lives Cat Emperor would cost him dearly. No matter what, it must be killed. It seems I need to display all my strength this time, Yi Tian thought to himself. Up until now, he had never displayed his full strength against any opponent, whether it was the Green Ox Overlord or the Flame Overlord, he had always held back some power. But facing the 9 Lives Cat Emperor, if he continued to hold back, he would be in grave danger. Time talent. Yi Tian activated his time talent, slowing down time tenfold around the 9 Lives Cat Emperor. Suddenly, the movements and even the thoughts of the 9 Lives Cat Emperor seemed to slow down tenfold in Yi Tian's eyes, for this was the power of time, beyond the capability of Emperor-level ferocious beasts. Although the 9 Lives Cat Emperor could not see the power of time, it sensed the changes around it and in its thoughts, experiencing an eerie feeling. It's time. The 9 Lives Cat Emperor was startled. Time around it had slowed down manifold, while time in other areas remained unchanged. Abruptly, a blade of light attacked, and its body, affected by the time talent, failed to perceive the trajectory of the light in time. Bang! The light struck its body but was blocked by its defenses. Although it had only transformed a small part of its body into a divine body, its defense had greatly increased, and Yi Tian's star slash only caused a minor injury. Space compression. Yi Tian activated his space talent, compressing the space around the 9 Lives Cat Emperor, squeezing it. Crack, crack, crack. The pressure of space came, making the 9 Lives Cat Emperor very uncomfortable. The 9 Lives Cat Emperor struggled hard, causing the space to tremble. At a certain moment, with a loud bang, the 9 Lives Cat Emperor broke through Yi Tian's space compression. This move had just been initially grasped by Yi Tian, and its power was not yet formidable. Otherwise, the 9 Lives Cat Emperor would not have broken the space compression so easily. Following this, Several spatial blades appeared, slashing towards the 9 Lives Cat Emperor. While the 9 Lives Cat Emperor, constrained by both space and time talents, couldn't dodge, it activated its defensive talents with all its might, using its half-divine body's advantage to withstand Etienne's repeated spatial blade assaults. Of course, the 9 Lives Cat Emperor was injured. Time talent, space talent, these are two supreme treasure talents. I've seen ferocious beasts with space talent, but none with a higher level than yours. Your space talent must have reached the pseudo-mystic level. And time talent, I've never heard of anyone possessing it, but you have it. What kind of ferocious beast are you, to be so against the heavens? Honestly, I am very envious of your talents. If I could possess your body, it would be a heaven-defying opportunity. Unfortunately, I don't have the talent to take over bodies, the 9 Lives Cat Emperor exclaimed, astounded by Etienne's incredible talents. Suddenly, the 9 Lives Cat Emperor took out a claw weapon and fused it into its claws. This was a moonlight-level claw weapon. 9 Lives Claw. The 9 Lives Cat Emperor lightly swiped, and space itself was marked with claw trails. It was incredible that it could leave marks in space with mere strength, showcasing its terrifying attack power. With the boost of the moonlight-level claw weapon and the execution of the silver-level claw technique, 9 Lives Claw, the 9 Lives Cat Emperor's combat power skyrocketed. Bang, bang, bang. The spatial blades deployed by Etienne were also destroyed by the 9 Lives Cat Emperor. Swoosh. The 9 Lives Cat Emperor charged towards Etienne, its murderous intent engulfing the void. Extreme Speed Talent. Etienne activated his god-level Extreme Speed Talent, instantly surpassing the 9 Lives Cat Emperor in speed. If the 9 Lives Cat Emperor hadn't been affected by the space and time talents, its speed would definitely surpass Etienne. Unfortunately, under the suppression of time and space talents, its combat effectiveness was greatly reduced. Etienne, wielding a Morning Star-level blade, occasionally executed star-slash and long-distance space-breaking strikes, continuously making it difficult for the 9 Lives Cat Emperor. The 9 Lives Cat Emperor's speed was completely inferior to Etienne, unable to injure him. Damn it, this guy's strength is not even close to mine. If it weren't for the time and space talents, I could easily kill him. The 9 Lives Cat Emperor cursed internally. Indeed, without the time and space talents, Etienne would be no match for the 9 Lives Cat Emperor, whose strength was immense, second only to the 7 Stars Emperor level fighters. In fact, even 7 Stars Emperor level fighters would find it very difficult to kill the 9 Lives Cat Emperor. Without the time and space talents, Etienne would at best be considered the weakest among the 6 Stars Emperor level, naturally no match for the 9 Lives Cat Emperor. However, time and space talents are also a form of strength. What warrior doesn't rely on talents? Without special talents, wouldn't that make them no different from ordinary warriors? 10 minutes passed. Etienne's combat power remained at its peak. The devouring blood talent absorbed blood stored in his personal space to fully recover him, with little to no yuan force expenditure. Meanwhile, the 9 Lives Cat Emperor was significantly worn down, suffering injuries that were not severe but not light either. At this point, the 9 Lives Cat Emperor sought to flee. It knew it couldn't kill Etienne and feared that if the battle continued, it might end up dead. Escape. The 9 Lives Cat Emperor desperately tried to flee, but Etienne was determined to kill it. No matter how it tried to escape, it couldn't break free from the blockade of spatial confinement and the influence of time talent. The chase continued, with the two spreading their battlefield over tens of millions of miles. Mountains and rivers shattered, and space cracked open, as if signaling the end of the world. Countless ferocious beasts died along their path, with even 2 Emperor-level ferocious beasts perishing out of curiosity. In the blink of an eye, a day of fierce battle passed. At this time, Etienne's spirits slightly waned, but his overall strength was still at its peak, while the 9 Lives Cat Emperor was in a dire state. Countless minor injuries accumulated into severe wounds. Damned monkey, what if I give you a few treasures and you let me go? Aren't you chasing me for the treasures from the Hall of Inheritance? I'll give them to you. There's no need for us to fight to the death. The 9 Lives Cat Emperor pleaded. However, it secretly planned to transform its divine body as soon as it returned, quickly advancing to the god-level ferocious beast realm, and then seek out Etienne for revenge. Unfortunately, it was mistaken. Etienne's true motive for killing it was not for those treasures, they were just a bonus. Etienne's main purpose was to eliminate a threat to humanity. Because Etienne was human, not the monkey the 9 Lives Cat Emperor thought he was. Hi everyone, someone else will be helping with the translation from now on. Please forgive any mistakes. Leave some feedback in my Discord. Web links. Author's notes in this novel are mainly just seeking flowers. Please subscribe, asking the readers to tip him, so they'll be left out. I noticed some aggregator sites popping up. If the chapter order is messed up, it's because you're reading on one of them. I don't mind it, since I don't run any ads, therefore don't make money lol. But I do my best to make the user interface as seamless as possible. Please consider reading at. Thank you so much, and a happy new year to you. Chapter 251, Full Display of Talents, A Fierce Battle. TL, Yu Yong. PR, Etude, Kill. Yi Tian's response to the 9 Lives Cat Emperor was clear, there was no stopping now. Seeing Yi Tian's increasingly fierce offensive, filled with intense killing intent, it seemed as though he harbored an irreconcilable hatred against the Emperor. However, the 9 Lives Cat Emperor was very aware that it didn't actually know Yi Tian. If you want to kill me, then let's die together. The 9 Lives Cat Emperor burned its bloodline power and even part of its body, mobilizing a trace of divinity contained in its demigod physique. This trace of divinity, merged into its claws and boosted by the intensely rich bloodline power, launched its strongest strike. 9 Lives Claw. Space itself was torn apart, breaking through the spatial confinement. The claw light shattered the void, descending upon Yi Tian. Under the influence of the time talent, the attack speed was slowed by tenfold, but it still affected Yi Tian. This strike seemed to envelop the heavens and the earth, making it impossible for Yi Tian to dodge. It's the divinity that's affecting space-time. freewebnovel.com. Yi Tian guessed. If his cultivation had been stronger, having completed a major transformation, this trace of divinity wouldn't have affected him at all. Unfortunately, his cultivation was still too weak, which allowed the divinity to influence space-time. Unable to dodge, he chose to withstand it directly. Mystic level defensive talent. God level 5 elements iron armor talent. God level strength talent. Starfall slash. In an instant, numerous talents were activated. Slash. Empowered by the God level strength talent, the Starfall slash unleashed terrifying attacking power, clashing with the 9 Lives Claw. Boom. The Starfall slash broke apart, turning into specks of light, while the 9 Lives Claw continued its assault. In fact, Yi Tian's Starfall slash had become many times stronger than before, having copied the God-level strength talent of the Azure Dragon, capable of exerting 300 times the attacking power, 3 times that of the Mystic-level strength talent. This meant that Yi Tian's attacking power had tripled. However, the 9 Lives Cat Emperor's strength was immense, not only beginning to transform into a divine body but also amplified by a moonlight-level weapon. This was why Yi Tian's attack wasn't very effective. Now, the 9 Lives Cat Emperor had further burned its bloodline and flesh, activating a trace of divinity for its strongest strike. It was natural that Yi Tian's Starfall slash couldn't withstand it. The 9 Lives Claw hit Yi Tian directly, shattering the manifested defensive talent shield, but the God level 5 elements iron armor talent managed to block the claw light. Then, the God level 5 elements iron armor was also penetrated. The pseudo-mystic level diamond bone talent activated, blocking this strike with his bones. Boom. Yi Tian was sent flying, hurtling 10,000 meters away. By leveraging my desperate strike, he should be severely injured and on the brink of death, right? The 9 Lives Cat Emperor excitedly said. Actually, it was also taking a gamble. If the trace of divinity couldn't affect the opponent's time and space talents, it would have been completely finished. But the outcome was favorable. It won the bet. Swoosh. The 9 Lives Cat Emperor flew over, intending to kill the severely injured Yi Tian and take the treasures on him. But suddenly, the spatial confinement descended again, and Yi Tian walked step by step, his injuries rapidly healing. Possessing the mystic level life talent and pseudo-mystic level healing talent, Yi Tian's recovery speed reached a heaven-defying level. Although the 9 Lives Cat Emperor's desperate strike broke through his defenses, it was still far from killing him. In a few moments, Yi Tian's injuries were mostly healed. At this point, the 9 Lives Cat Emperor, having burned part of its bloodline and body, was severely injured and weak, far from its peak condition. How can you also have healing talents? The 9 Lives Cat Emperor was completely dumbfounded. It felt like the heavens were too favorable to Yi Tian, with so many powerful talents, including healing ones, seemingly of a high level, possibly even mystic level. 9 Lives Cat Emperor, if you had fled the moment you sent me flying, with your speed, I might not have been able to catch up. After all, teleportation isn't without limits, each teleportation has a slight interval. In a long chase, you might even be faster than me. Unfortunately, you wasted your last chance, foolishly coming over here. Yi Tian mocked. No, the 9 Lives Cat Emperor, now terrified, turned to flee. But alas, it was too late to escape. Puff! A starfall slash swept through, severing one of the 9 lives Cat Emperor's legs. At the same time, blades of space swiftly descended, completely ending the life of the Emperor. Thus, the 9 lives Cat Emperor, newly ascended to the ranks of divine beasts, perished at Yi Tian's hands. Approaching the corpse of the 9 lives Cat Emperor, Yi Tian collected the treasures it carried. Beasts like it, though lacking storage bags, had a special place within their bodies for storing items. Their large size allowed them to easily store various objects securely. Yi Tian found several scattered treasures and ultimately identified 8 items originating from the inheritance hall. 4 belonged to the 9 lives Cat Emperor, and the other 4 were likely plundered from other Emperor-level beasts and beast lords. Yi Tian carefully examined these 8 treasures. 1. A moonlight-level claw weapon. 2. A treasure for soul defense. 3. A pill capable of resolving bloodline flaws. 4. A claw technique inheritance. 5. A secret technique for condensing divine power. 6. A supreme spiritual medicine aiding bloodline transformation. 7. A drop of dragon essence blood. 8. The last item appeared to be a fruit that could enhance bloodline talents, though its success rate was unknown. Yi Tian could identify these treasures thanks to another of his talents, the treasure appraisal talent, copied from a master appraiser in an auction house. Originally a basic level talent, he had forcibly elevated it to the top tier using the talent Divine Liquid. Now, he could even identify treasures like the Saint Dragon Fruit. Looking at these 8 treasures, Yi Tian was very satisfied, particularly with the Soul Defense treasure, the Claw Technique Inheritance, and the Moonlight level claw weapon. The Claw Technique Inheritance contained a technique surpassing the legendary level, a God-level claw technique. The value of a God-level claw technique was immense, and its revelation would undoubtedly cause a stir. Once Yi Tian integrated the claw technique talent into the Moonlight level, he had the potential to master this claw technique talent, possibly even replacing his sword technique as his strongest attack method for a time. Together with the Moonlight level claw weapon, his strength was bound to surge significantly. Therefore, he found the claw technique inheritance and the Moonlight level claw weapon particularly intriguing. Thanks to the 9 lives Cat Emperor, I got these amazing treasures. Otherwise, where would I find such items? Yi Tian reflected. After storing all the treasures, Yi Tian rested for a while, planning to find and eliminate the Golden Horn Silver Emperor in one fell swoop. However, despite searching, he couldn't find it. The Golden Horn Silver Emperor must be hiding, consuming its gains. Yi Tian frowned. If the Golden Horn Silver Emperor completed its consumption and quietly advanced its cultivation, it was uncertain how long it would take to reappear. Now, with only this Beast Lord remaining in the Beast World, eliminating it would secure the safety of Zonghai Super Base. I must find a way. Yi Tian pondered deeply. Suddenly, he thought of the contract talent. This talent allowed him to contract many beasts to work for him. If he contracted a bunch of Emperor-level beasts to help him find the Golden Horn Silver Emperor, wouldn't that be convenient? Though this method would undoubtedly reveal his presence, he wasn't afraid. With only one Beast Lord remaining and disguised as an ape beast, his Emperor-level beast subordinates would only see him as a powerful Emperor-level beast, never suspecting a human. Even if the Golden Horn Silver Emperor discovered and tracked him, he wouldn't need to search anymore. That's the plan, Yi Tian decided. Leave some feedback in my Discord. Web links. Please consider reading at Chapter 252. Killing the 9 lives Cat Emperor and gaining 8 treasures. TL. Yuyong. PR. Etude. After flying for a while, Yi Tian soon discovered an Emperor-level ferocious beast. This was an Emperor-level ferocious beast known as the Fierce Sun Beast. Among Emperor-level beasts, it was average, but Yi Tian didn't need an Emperor-level beast for combat, only to find the Golden Horn Silver Emperor. Thus, he didn't need a very powerful one. In the eyes of the Golden Horn Silver Emperor, both strong and weak Emperor-level ferocious beasts were insignificant, like ants. Yi Tian appeared before the Fierce Sun Beast and immediately used his contract talent. A ray of light entered the head of the Fierce Sun Beast, forming a complex contract array that merged with the Emperor-level Fierce Sun Beast. At this moment, Yi Tian felt he could control the life and death of this Emperor-level Fierce Sun Beast, forming a master-servant contract. What a terrifying contract talent. The beast control talent only makes beasts acknowledge their master. If the master dies, the beast also dies. The master can also use the light of the soul to harm the beast, but it can't control the life and death of the beast like the contract talent. This contract talent is too domineering. It's no wonder the beasts become loyal. Yi Tian sighed. After the contract, the fierce sun beast, obviously not understanding what had happened, attacked Yi Tian. So, Yi Tian activated his contract talent, inflicting a bit of pain on the fierce sun beast. Boom! Terrifying pain descended, and the fierce sun beast howled in agony, rolling non-stop on the ground, overturning mountains. Half an hour later, Yi Tian finally made the fierce sun beast understand a truth. Its life was in Yi Tian's hands now, and it must obey Yi Tian's commands, or else there was only one outcome: death. Master. The fierce sun beast submitted at Yi Tian's feet, no longer temperamental. Good. I give you a command. Go find the whereabouts of the golden horned silver emperor. Once you find it, come to this place to find me. Yi Tian gave the fierce sun beast an address, the place he planned to continue his cultivation. This place was one of his previous cultivation sites, Fire Dragon Mountain. Ah, Master, you want to find the whereabouts of the golden horned silver emperor. The fierce sun beast trembled. As an emperor-level ferocious beast, how could it not know of the great name of the golden horned silver emperor, one of the 12 overlord beasts? It was rumored that the golden horned silver emperor had obtained the holy dragon fruit, gaining dawn-level bloodline talent, and was sure to become a god-level ferocious beast in the future. Such a ferocious beast overlord, it dared not inquire about. Are you going or not? Yi Tian's voice became cold. Go, Master, I'll go. The fierce sun beast shivered in fear, hastily agreeing. Good, go. If I find out you're slacking off, you're dead. I have a secret technique that can track everything about you, so don't harbor any lucky thoughts. Yi Tian threatened. The fierce sun beast didn't know that Yi Tian was deceiving it. The contract talent could contract ferocious beasts and control their life and death, but it couldn't know the beasts' situations. The foolish fierce sun beast believed Yi Tian's words and left to sincerely inquire about the whereabouts of the golden horned silver emperor. The first emperor-level ferocious beast is done, continue searching. Yi Tian flew off in a certain direction. In a blink of an eye, 3 days passed. In these 3 days, Yi Tian contracted 20 emperor-level ferocious beasts, 100 saint-level ferocious beasts, and a large number of king beasts, sending them to find the golden horned silver emperor. But he didn't continue contracting beasts, as he had reached his limit. Top-level contract talent was not unlimited, it had a limit of 20 emperor-level ferocious beasts, 100 saint-level ferocious beasts, and about 1,000 king beasts. Such a force was already quite terrifying. Although it couldn't attack a super base, it could certainly cause some damage to one. Yi Tian didn't plan to take these emperor and saint-level ferocious beasts with him. Once he found the golden horned silver emperor, he wouldn't keep these beasts and would kill them all, which was also a way to reduce the pressure on Zonghai super base. Fire Dragon Mountain. Yi Tian arrived here and opened a temporary cave dwelling at the mouth of Fire Dragon Mountain, then began to close off for cultivation. Now, he had many things to cultivate. Claw technique, claw force, and claw intent comprehension, using Jengjin stone to temper the body, forging an innate sword body, and attempting to break the 9th physical limit, etc. Thus, he would be quite busy during this period. Forget about the claw technique, claw force, and claw intent for now. These things can't enhance my strength at the moment. Instead, I should absorb the Jengjin Qi from the Jengjin stone to temper my body, break the physical limit, and forge the innate sword body. Yi Tian sat cross-legged and took out the Jengjin stone. Immediately, his skin was pricked by a faint Jengjin Qi. If an ordinary martial warrior stood in front of the Jengjin stone, they probably wouldn't last a moment before being torn into countless pieces by the Jengjin Qi. The Jengjin stone, belonging to the metal attribute, was used by Yi Tian with his god level 5 elements iron armor talent to absorb the Jengjin Qi, beginning the body tempering. At the same time, he also activated his high-level time talent, accelerating time tenfold. Boom! Strands of Jengjin Qi were absorbed by Yi Tian into his body, starting the tempering process. Every second, Yi Tian felt as if his body was getting stronger. The tempering effect is so good. Yi Tian was overjoyed. Compared to exotic fire, the Jengjin stone was many levels higher. This Jengjin stone could probably not only help him break the 9th physical limit but even the 10th, completing a great transformation of the body. However, this required time and couldn't be achieved quickly. As time passed day by day, Yi Tian was completely immersed in his cultivation, seemingly forgetting about the golden horned silver emperor. In fact, he was always mindful of the golden horned silver emperor, but even if he left now, he couldn't find the emperor. The reason he had found the other 2 beast overlords was that they had hunted a large number of ferocious beasts, revealing their tracks. But the golden horned silver emperor wouldn't do that. Yi Tian had seen clearly that when the golden horned silver emperor left, he even disturbed the surrounding void's aura, making it impossible for others to track him. Clearly, he often did this, being a very cautious and careful beast overlord. Therefore, he could only rely on a large number of beast slaves to search for the whereabouts of the golden-horned silver emperor, like finding a needle in a haystack. Whether finding the emperor or attracting his attention to come to him, either would achieve his goal. He just needed to quietly wait. In the blink of an eye, half a month had passed. The Jengjin stone in Yi Tian's hand had become slightly weaker, but he could clearly sense that his 9th physical limit was near. Another 2 days passed. On this day, Yi Tian felt the shackles in the dark, the 9th physical limit had arrived. Boom! He crazily absorbed the Jengjin Qi, using it to temper his body and break the physical limit. With his supreme level tempering talent and the treasure like the Jengjin stone, it would be strange if he couldn't break the 9th physical limit. Crack, crack, crack. The shackles in the dark were easily broken, and countless yuan qi flooded into his body, enhancing Yi Tian's physical strength. After half a day, huff, Yi Tian exhaled deeply, feeling the immense power within his body, and smiled. These 2 breakthroughs of the physical limit were assisted by treasures like strange fire and Jengjin stone. Otherwise, he would need to prepare a massive amount of yuan qi stones or other treasures to break the limit, as the energy needed was immense. Now, he had broken the 9th physical limit, possessing the strength of 900 dragons. The next step was to face the Great Transformation. Once the Great Transformation was complete, his strength would truly possess the transformation. Right now, he was just laying the foundation. An Emperor-level ferocious beast is approaching. It's one of the Emperor-level beasts I control. Yi Tian sensed and exclaimed with surprise. Leave some feedback in my Discord. Web links. Please consider reading at Chapter 253, Breaking the 9th Physical Limit. TL, Yu Yong. PR, Etude. Yi Tian had given orders to the ferocious beasts under his control. If they did not find the golden-horned silver emperor, there was no need to report back to him. But now, this emperor-level ferocious beast had come to him, which meant it must have found a clue. Quickly, this emperor-level ferocious beast arrived at Fire Dragon Mountain and shouted, "Master, I have found the location of the golden-horned silver emperor." Whoosh! Yi Tian flew out, his gaze not resting on the emperor-level beast but looking into the distance. "I already know," he declared. With a thought, Yi Tian activated the beast contract, killing the emperor-level beast. At the same time, all the ferocious beasts under his control, bound by his contract talent, perished, forcibly slain by him. He had already discovered the golden-horned silver emperor. Indeed, searching for the golden-horned silver emperor on such a large scale has caught his attention. I guess this emperor-level beast could find the golden-horned silver emperor because the latter deliberately revealed himself, intending to trace this emperor-level beast, Yi Tian mused to himself. At that moment, far away, a silver beast with golden horns stood, unmistakably the golden-horned silver emperor. He had discovered the golden-horned silver emperor, and naturally, the golden-horned silver emperor had also noticed him. Whoosh! The golden-horned silver emperor flew over, his eyes filled with a stern gaze as he looked at Yi Tian. "I remember you, I saw you once in the inheritance hall, and you survived. You do have some skills, having controlled so many emperor-level and saint-level ferocious beasts. Such ability is enough to gather a large number of beasts and form a powerful force. In the past, I would have subdued you. But I will soon break through to the god level and leave this world, so you are of no use to me now." A murderous intent burst forth from the eyes of the golden-horned silver emperor. It wanted to kill Yi Tian. However, Yi Tian also harbored the same intention towards the golden-horned silver emperor. Let's see who lives and who dies. Yi Tian immediately made his move. Boom! A pseudo-mystic level space talent created a spatial confinement that instantly locked down the area, freezing the space. Pseudo-mystic space talent. The golden-horned silver emperor's expression changed. Initially, it thought Yi Tian was just an emperor-level beast who had completed 9 bloodline transformations, merely an ant in its eyes. Even if this ant had peculiar and powerful talents, it was still an ant. It had never seen an emperor-level beast with 9 bloodline transformations stronger than one with 13 transformations. And it was not just any overlord among beasts, even among emperor-level beasts with 13 bloodline transformations, its strength was top tier. Thus, it did not believe Yi Tian had any chance of winning. But when Yi Tian's pseudo-mystic space talent was revealed, it showed a trace of seriousness, albeit only a trace. Boom! freewebnovel.com. The aura of the golden-horned silver emperor exploded, even more potent than that of the 9 lives cat emperor. However, Yi Tian had just recently broken through the 9th physical limit, his strength significantly enhanced compared to before. He had been able to slay the 9 lives Cat Emperor previously, and now it was even easier. Time talent. The power of time spread to the Golden Horn Silver Emperor, slowing down its perception of time by tenfold. Meanwhile, Yi Tian continuously struck the Golden Horn Silver Emperor with space blades, occasionally employing Void Breaker and Star Slash. Under a series of attacks, the Golden Horn Silver Emperor was bewildered. How can this be? The Golden Horn Silver Emperor couldn't believe it. The Golden Monkey before it possessed time talent, space talent, and so many other powerful abilities, which was truly inconceivable. It was gradually becoming apparent that it was no match. Puff puff puff. More and more wounds appeared on the Golden Horn Silver Emperor's body, and the injuries became increasingly severe. Its defenses were even weaker than the demigod 9 Lives Cat Emperor, naturally unable to withstand Yi Tian's attacks. Moreover, under the dual influence of space and time talents, its speed was no match for Yi Tian's. It couldn't land a hit on him, effectively becoming a sitting duck. Despite its overwhelming combat power, it was futile. Suddenly, Yi Tian launched his Soul Spike talent at the Golden Horn Silver Emperor. The power of his soul transformed into spikes, tearing through the void, attacking the soul of the Golden Horn Silver Emperor. Pierce. The soul spike penetrated the Golden Horn Silver Emperor's soul, successfully injuring him. The Emperor let out a scream of agony. Without a soul defense treasure, you have no hope of survival. Yi Tian said coldly. Immediately, he frenziedly deployed his Soul Spike talent and Soul Spear talent, repeatedly injuring the Golden Horn Silver Emperor's soul. However, the Emperor's soul was strong enough, much more robust than the Green Ox Overlord, and withstood Yi Tian's 10 soul attacks, with its aura hardly weakened. Time talent. Yi Tian activated this ability of his time talent, then a legendary level sword technique cut through the air, targeting the Golden Horn Silver Emperor's neck. Slash. The blade light directly sliced open most of the Emperor's neck, blood gushing out. Then the effect of the time talent passed. How can this be? The Golden Horn Silver Emperor was terrified. Yi Tian's power was too terrifying. In that instant, it even felt as if space and time had completely stopped, even its thoughts had halted, unable to do anything. Although it was just a moment, it was dangerous enough. Had its defenses not been strong enough, its head would have been completely severed. Escape. The Golden Horn Silver Emperor dared not fight any longer. Yi Tian's strength was much more terrifying than it had imagined. If it had known how formidable Yi Tian was, it would have focused on breaking through to the god-level beast realm in seclusion, instead of coming here to kill Yi Tian. It regretted its decision. But it was too late. Before long, Yi Tian inflicted multiple heavy injuries on the Golden Horn Silver Emperor, even piercing its body several times. Finally, the Golden Horn Silver Emperor fell with a mournful cry, its massive kilometer-long body crashing into a mountain range. Emperor-level beast blood was a rare treasure among humans, and Yi Tian, having a large force to nurture, collected the blood of the Golden Horn Silver Emperor. Afterward, Yi Tian found the corpses of other Emperor-level beasts and collected their blood as well. In the following period, Yi Tian collected treasures all over the beast world, his strength making him virtually invincible. Of course, Yi Tian didn't dare to be too arrogant. After all, this world was a subordinate planet of the Dragon Clan. If he attracted the attention of the Dragon Clan, it would not bode well. What if the Dragon Clan had the ability to traverse spatial rifts and invade Earth? With Earth's current strength, it absolutely could not withstand the Dragon Clan. Therefore, after merely a month of scavenging, Yi Tian hurriedly left. 5-star Spatial Rift, Zonghai Temporary Base. Yi Tian returned here, and an Emperor-level guardian of the base flew out to meet him. Emperor Yi Tian, you're back. Yi Tian glanced at him, recognizing him as an ordinary Emperor level from Zonghai Super Base, nodded slightly, and then passed through the spatial rift back to Zonghai Super Base. Before long, Yi Tian arrived at Zonghai Super Base. He didn't go to Tian Pavilion or home but went straight to the headquarters of the Battle Axe Mercenary Hall. Leave some feedback in my Discord. Web links. Please consider reading at Chapter 254, The Death of the Golden Horn Silver Emperor, The Annihilation of the 12 Ferocious Beasts Overlords. TL, Yuyong. PR, Etude, Battle Axe Mercenary Hall Headquarters. When the Battle Axe Emperor learned of Yi Tian's arrival, he immediately emerged from his seclusion. Emperor Yi Tian, you've returned. The Battle Axe Emperor looked eager. He was very keen to find out from Yi Tian what had happened in the world of ferocious beasts. During this time, Yi Tian's delayed return had undoubtedly made him one of the more anxious people. The matter is resolved. Yi Tian uttered the words that made the Battle Axe Emperor breathe a sigh of relief. Resolved. The Battle Axe Emperor, curious, quickly asked, could Emperor Yi Tian elaborate on the specifics? Yi Tian nodded and said, actually, the Black Dragon Overlord was killed by the 9 Lives Cat Emperor, who is also one of the overlords among the ferocious beasts. It just so happened that some fortuitous event greatly enhanced its strength. Then, Yi Tian spoke about the deaths of the various ferocious beast overlords. When the Battle Axe Emperor learned that all 12 ferocious beast overlords were dead, and that Yi Tian had also slain a large number of emperor-level ferocious beasts, significantly reducing their numbers in the ferocious beast world, he was utterly astounded. These were the 12 ferocious beast overlords, terrifying emperor-level beasts that even the War God Tower couldn't kill in one strike. Yi Tian had managed to kill several of them. What he didn't know was that the strength of the 9 Lives Cat Emperor and the Golden Horn Silver Emperor were infinitely close to the 7-star Emperor level. If he knew, he would have been even more terrified. This indicated that Yi Tian's strength was nearing the 7-star Emperor level, and he could even compete with those at this level, despite only having broken through his body's limits 9 times. If he were to break through the limits for the 10th time, completing a major transformation of his body, wouldn't his strength jump to the top of the Glory Emperor rankings? Not wanting to reveal his full strength, Yi Tian hadn't disclosed everything. Otherwise, it would be too frightening. Yi Tian, with the 12 ferocious beast overlords dead, and most of the emperor-level beasts fallen, wouldn't our Zonghai super base be able to emulate the Tianfu super base and seize half of the ferocious beast world? The Battle Axe Emperor said excitedly. No, Yi Tian shook his head and said, the Tianfu super base can control the ferocious beast world because it has many emperor-level powerhouses capable of maintaining order. Our Zonghai super base, having suffered many losses, wouldn't be able to hold such a large territory even if all the emperors were dispatched. Moreover, I can't always be in the ferocious beast world. Once I'm gone, the emperors of Zonghai super base won't be able to fend off those powerful emperors. Of course, there's another more important reason, a reason that also makes me hesitant to occupy a ferocious beast world. What reason? The Battle Axe Emperor's expression changed. Yi Tian's strength was far greater than that of the 12 ferocious beast overlords, yet something was making even him hesitant to claim the ferocious beast world. Could it be that there were even more terrifying beasts in that world? Yi Tian guessed the Battle Axe Emperor's thoughts and explained, don't worry, that ferocious beast world no longer has any beast overlords or powerful emperor-level beasts. My concern isn't the danger of the ferocious beast world, but the threat from the Dragon Clan. The Dragon Clan. The Battle Axe Emperor's expression changed again as he recalled the records about the Dragon Clan. Battle Axe Emperor, do you know about the Dragon Clan? Yi Tian asked. The Battle Axe Emperor nodded, a little. I learned about them from the records of an ancient civilization. It's said that the pure-blooded members of the Dragon Clan have terrifying talents, each possessing Morning Star-level bloodline talents. Once they mature, they become divine beasts. Thus, the pure-blooded Dragon Clan is also known as the Divine Beast Clan, the Divine Dragon Clan. Their influence is vast, with many divine beasts, even occupying numerous planets. They are an extremely powerful force in the universe. Suddenly, the Battle Axe Emperor asked in return, Emperor Yi Tian, does that ferocious beast world have a connection with the Dragon Clan? Yi Tian replied, correct, that ferocious beast world is likely a subordinate planet of the Dragon Clan. Every 10,000 years, the Dragon Clan takes away the god-level ferocious beasts from that world. Moreover, the Dragon Clan has left some things and legacies there. This shows that the Dragon Clan is still paying attention to this planet. If we occupy this ferocious beast world, should the Dragon Clan's powerhouses descend, and vent their anger on the human race, the consequences, I believe, are clear to both of us. Dragon Clan powerhouses descending. The Battle Axe Emperor showed a look of fear. He understood the consequences. The humans remaining in the ferocious beast world would be annihilated, not a single one would escape. What a pity, the Battle Axe Emperor sighed. If they really occupied a ferocious beast world, it would be equivalent to possessing the resources of an entire world. Despite being consumed by the ferocious beasts, this was a mature Yuan-Chi world, richer in resources than Earth, where resources are still emerging but not yet fully manifested. freewebnovel.com. The resources of a ferocious beast world were enough to bring Zonghai Super Base to a state of complete prosperity, even potentially catching up to the Tianfu Super Base in the future. However, now, Zonghai Super Base had to abandon this plan. Battle Axe Emperor, slow development is also good. At the very least, Zonghai Super Base no longer faces the threat of the ferocious beast world, and our martial warriors can delve deeper into it, which is much better than before. Yi Tian said with a smile. That's true. The Battle Axe Emperor also smiled. After chatting with the Battle Axe Emperor for a while, Yi Tian went to see his wife, Empress Yu. Inside the Moon God Temple, Yi Tian and Empress Yu talked for a long time. He shared his experiences in the ferocious beast world, nearly without any concealment, even mentioning the Legacy Hall. After listening, Empress Yu hugged Yi Tian tightly, her face showing obvious concern. Although she hadn't experienced this journey herself, she could imagine the dangers involved, where a moment's carelessness could lead to demise. Don't take such risks in the future, Empress Yu said as she embraced Yi Tian. Okay, Yi Tian kissed Empress Yu, his face showing indulgence. Then, he said with a mischievous smile, Yue, it's been a long time since we've been intimate. Hearing this, Empress Yu's face turned red. She playfully punched Yi Tian and quickly ran to her room. Although the two were already married, Empress Yu was still very shy, as if it was their first time. Yi Tian, thick-skinned, followed her. After a while, different sounds came from inside. The next day, Yi Tian left the Moon God sect and returned to Tian Pavilion. At this time, Xiao Shui and other pets had also moved to Tian Pavilion, where they had settled down. After all, Xiao Shui also needed to comprehend the Enlightenment stele, which was beneficial for understanding mystic arts and cultivating here. Upon returning, Yi Tian checked Xiao Shui's cultivation progress. In terms of cultivation, Xiao Shui was still at the saint level, but there was significant progress in talent. Species: War Blood Sky Dragon. Bloodline talent: Morning Star level. Strength talent: Mystic. Defense talent: Mystic. Speed talent: Pseudo-Mystic 30%. Blood Devouring talent: Mystic. Flight talent: Mystic. Dragon Flame talent: Top. Healing talent: Top. Dragon Roar talent: Top. Blood Bone talent: Top. Dragon Soul talent: Top. Blood Devouring talent has reached the Mystic level. Yi Tian was very satisfied and immediately copied Xiao Shui's Mystic level Blood Devouring talent, as his own was only at the Pseudo-Mystic level. Master, you're back. Xiao Shui has been working hard on cultivation recently and has upgraded the Blood Devouring talent to Mystic level. Xiao Shui boasted. Xiao Shui is amazing, Yi Tian praised, petting Xiao Shui's massive head. At that moment, he took out the Divine Dragon Claw Root Grass and said, Xiao Shui, this is a gift for you. Do you know what this is? Xiao Shui's eyes widened in shock and exclaimed, Divine Dragon Claw Root Grass, heavens, Master, where did you get this? Did you rob a dragon's treasure trove? Leave some feedback in my Discord. Web links. Please consider reading at Chapter 255, Return and Xiao Shui's Shock. TL, Yu Yong. PR, Etude, Xiao Shui, you actually recognize the Divine Dragon Claw Root Grass. Yi Tian was quite surprised. He had never known about the Dragon Claw Root before. Xiao Shui, who rarely left the house, where did he learn about the Divine Dragon Claw Root Grass? Xiao Shui proudly said, Heritage knowledge. Our dragon race can pass down heritage knowledge to our descendants. My heritage knowledge includes records about the Divine Dragon Claw Root Grass. This is a very rare treasure, even rare among the dragon race. Ordinary pure-blooded dragons don't even have the chance to see it, let alone possess it. I never expected that my master would actually get one. Then, Xiao Shui pleaded with a flattering face, Master, are you really giving me the Divine Dragon Claw Root Grass? Yes, I'm really giving it to you. Yi Tian handed the Divine Dragon Claw Root Grass to Xiao Shui. Master, you are so kind. Xiao Shui was moved. Such a Divine Dragon Claw Root Grass, its value is even higher than Xiao Shui itself. Xiao Shui, who had never exerted much effort before, was now receiving such an important reward from its master. How could it not be moved? However, Xiao Shui had no idea that it had become Yi Tian's treasure trove. Just now, Yi Tian had copied the Mystic level Blood Devouring talent from it, and if Xiao Shui consumed the Divine Dragon Claw Root Grass and obtained the Morning Star level Claw Technique talent, that too would be copied by Yi Tian. Of course, even if it knew about this, Xiao Shui wouldn't mind. After all, it wouldn't lose anything but would instead gain a great opportunity. Such a good thing, Xiao Shui wanted it to happen more often. Xiao Shui swallowed the Divine Dragon Claw Root Grass in one gulp. Boom! The energy of the Divine Dragon Claw Root Grass began to transform Xiao Shui's body, creating a claw technique talent for it. There was a 50% chance. Whether it could create a Morning Star level claw technique talent depended on luck. As time slowly passed, Yi Tian continuously monitored Xiao Shui's talent situation. After half a day, Xiao Shui's talent finally changed. Under the observation of talent copying, another talent appeared among Xiao Shui's many talents. Claw technique talent, Morning Star. Seeing this talent, Yi Tian finally smiled. Copy. The Morning Star level claw technique talent was now in his hands. At this time, Xiao Shui also woke up. Master, I now have a Morning Star level claw technique talent. I, Xiao Shui, am truly awesome now. Xiao Shui waved its claws, extremely excited. I will first pass on a claw technique to you, start cultivating it. Yi Tian pointed at Xiao Shui's forehead, transferring the content of the bronze-level Little Azure Dragon Claw technique to Xiao Shui. Xiao Shui received the Little Azure Dragon Claw technique, a bronze-level technique, and was extremely satisfied. It quickly went into seclusion to comprehend it. Meanwhile, Yi Tian also went to his cultivation room to start integrating the newly copied Mystic-level Blood-Devouring talent and the Morning Star-level Claw technique talent. He first integrated the Mystic-level Blood-Devouring talent, and it was quickly successful, elevating the Blood-Devouring talent to Mystic level. Next was the Morning Star-level Claw technique talent. Originally, Yi Tian didn't have much expectation for integrating the Morning Star-level Claw technique talent, but soon he was stunned. Boom! Intense pain came, somewhat resembling a talent transformation. No way, I just integrated the second Morning Star-level Claw technique talent, how could it cause a talent transformation? Yi Tian was puzzled, but he couldn't think too much about it and could only focus on enduring the pain. 10 minutes later, the pain dissipated, and a wave of exhilaration surged. Check. With a thought, Yi Tian's own talent situation appeared on his retina. Immediately, he was shocked. The other talents hadn't changed, but the Claw technique talent had undergone an earth-shattering transformation. Claw technique talent, Moonlight. Can it be, my Claw technique talent has actually become a Moonlight-level Claw technique talent? Yi Tian expressed his disbelief in shock. His Claw technique talent had only copied the Azure Dragon's talent and Xiao Shui's talent, both of which were Morning Star level. The transformation of these two talents directly to the Moonlight level was unprecedented. Strange. Yi Tian was somewhat puzzled. After much thought, he came up with a possibility. That is, the Morning Star level Claw technique talent of the Azure Dragon was much higher than the average Morning Star level talents, almost close to the Moonlight level. Therefore, copying and integrating Xiao Shui's Morning Star level Claw technique talent triggered a transformation, elevating it directly to the Moonlight level. Now this is a real windfall. I was thinking about elevating my sword technique talent to the Moonlight level, but unexpectedly, the Claw technique talent that I just copied has advanced to the Moonlight level. Yi Tian was in a very good mood, extremely happy. With the Moonlight level Claw technique talent, and having obtained a Claw technique inheritance, which included a God level Claw technique surpassing the legendary level, he could cultivate God level Claw techniques. Once he mastered the God level Claw technique, to what extent would his strength increase? Even if he hadn't broken through the 10th physical limit by then, his combat power would directly leap to the 7-star Emperor level, and not just the weakest 7-star Emperor level. The next main cultivation task is to cultivate Claw techniques. Yi Tian planned. Immediately, he began his closed-door cultivation, and occasionally, Empress Yu would join him in his cultivation. In just a few days, Yi Tian, with the help of 20 times the understanding ability, the enlightenment steel, and time talent, successfully comprehended the essence of Claw techniques and began cultivating silver-level Claw techniques. Half a month later, his understanding of Claw techniques reached completion, and he mastered several silver-level Claw techniques. In this way, Yi Tian attempted to forge an innate sword body using Jingjin stone while comprehending and cultivating Claw techniques. It would be impossible for an ordinary person to cultivate both Claw and sword techniques, but Yi Tian managed it thanks to his top-level understanding talent, high-level time talent, and the enlightenment steel. One day, Yi Tian brought a gold-level Claw technique to perfection and began to break through the realm of Claw techniques. With the assistance of the enlightenment steel and his 20 times understanding ability, Yi Tian quickly comprehended a bit of the essence of Claw techniques and could start cultivating legendary-level Claw techniques. Thanks to the Moonlight-level Claw technique talent, even at the realm of Claw techniques, Yi Tian could progress rapidly, and it didn't take long for him to successfully reach the first level of the realm. At this moment, another breakthrough was imminent for Yi Tian. My innate sword body is about to be perfected. Yi Tian was somewhat excited. He possessed a Morning Star-level sword technique talent, and the Jingjin stone would help him forge an innate sword body. Once it was forged, it would also boost his sword techniques. By then, his strength would increase further. In the cultivation chamber, Yi Tian absorbed the Jengjin Qi from the Jengjin stone, crazily refining his physical body. He treated his body like a sword embryo, forging it into a precious blade. If someone were to approach within 10 meters of Yi Tian, they would feel as if he had transformed into a sword, with countless sword energies traversing the void. A 10-meter radius around him seemed to become a world of swords. This was Yi Tian doing it intentionally. If he didn't contain his aura, a radius of 10,000 miles would become a world of swords, which would have too great an impact. As time passed, the innate sword body began to take shape. Strand by strand, the laws of the sword were engraved onto Yi Tian's body, helping him complete the final step. Boom! Countless strands of Jengjin Qi were devoured by Yi Tian, breaking through the last step. At this moment, all the swords within a radius of 10,000 miles began to resonate, as if echoing the King of Swords in the cosmic order. Leave some feedback in my Discord. Web links. Please consider reading at Chapter 256, Moonlight Level Claw Technique Talent and Innate Sword Body. TL, Yu Yong. PR, Etude, Battle Axe Mercenary Hall. The Battle Axe Emperor suddenly sensed that countless swords within the Battle Axe Mercenary Hall began to resonate. It's normal for swords with owners to resonate, as it's usually the owner controlling the sword. But many of these swords had no owners and were even stored in the treasury, yet they began to resonate on their own. This is, the Battle Axe Emperor's pupils constricted as he thought of a possibility. Innate sword body. The innate sword body is very similar to the innate saber body, with only minor differences. Both are extremely rare innate physiques, more powerful than ordinary innate attribute physiques. If a swordsman cultivates an innate sword body, their strength is much greater than that of a swordsman of the same level. The same is true for a swordsman who cultivates an innate sword body. It's very difficult to cultivate an innate sword body because there's no good method. For an innate fire spirit body, one can absorb fire chi and gradually refine the physique, but for an innate sword body, it's much harder, as it's difficult to absorb any sword chi, which can't be used for body refinement. Jengjin stone is one of the rare treasures that can refine the body and cultivate both innate sword body and innate saber body. But the Battle Axe Emperor was unaware of such treasures. Who exactly has cultivated the innate sword body? The Battle Axe Emperor wondered. There weren't many powerful swordsmen in Zonghai Super Base, and even fewer at the Emperor level. Lu Shidao Emperor. The Battle Axe Emperor first thought of him, but quickly dismissed the idea. From his understanding of Lu Shidao Emperor, the latter wasn't at the level to cultivate an innate sword body yet. Suddenly, a name appeared in the mind of the Battle Axe Emperor. Yi Tian. Yi Tian was also a swordsman, and even more powerful than Lu Shidao Emperor, as Yi Tian's sword technique talent was at the Morning Star level, having mastered the legendary level sword technique, Star Slash. Could it really be Yi Tian? The Battle Axe Emperor's divine sense traversed the void, approaching Tian Pavilion. As he neared Tian Pavilion, strands of sword chi spread out. At the same time, he felt an overwhelmingly powerful force hidden within Tian Pavilion, mixed with a tremendous sword Dao aura, as if enveloping this space, creating a world of swords. It really is Yi Tian. The Battle Axe Emperor was now certain. Soon, the news of Yi Tian cultivating an innate sword body spread. And Empress Yu in the Moon God Temple was the first to know about Yi Tian's success. She had heard from Yi Tian about his goal to cultivate an innate sword body, so seeing the swords of Moon God sect resonate, she knew her husband had succeeded. Therefore, she came to Tian Pavilion immediately and waited outside the cultivation chamber, not wanting to disturb Yi Tian. After a while, Yi Tian's voice came from inside. UAA, come in. Click, freewebnovel.com. The array opened, and UAA walked in. Lord husband, congratulations on cultivating the innate sword body. UAA happily congratulated Yi Tian. Yi Tian embraced Empress Yu in his arms, affectionately saying, then should we celebrate? Sure, Empress Yu replied subconsciously. How should we celebrate? How about we? Yi Tian showed a mischievous smile. Seeing this smile, Empress Yu instantly understood Yi Tian's intention and her face turned red. It's not convenient here, let's go back. Empress Yu said shyly, her face blushing. I think here is just fine. Yi Tian activated the array, securing the cultivation chamber, making it safer than any place in Zonghai Super Base. Several hours later, Empress Yu left Tian Pavilion with a flushed face, returning to the Moon God sect. Unless she was cultivating with Yi Tian, she would usually be stationed at the Moon God sect. In the cultivation chamber, a content Yi Tian began to examine his newly formed innate sword body. After some testing, he found that the innate sword body boosted his sword techniques by a factor of 1.5. This increase might seem modest, but it was actually significant. For example, if his sword technique's effectiveness was 10, with the innate sword body, it would be 15. Crucially, the enhancement from the sword technique could be stacked with his strength talent, meaning the innate sword body could amplify his strongest attacks, a feat unmatched by other innate attribute bodies. Additionally, Yi Tian discovered that the innate sword body also provided a certain level of defensive enhancement. Clearly, the innate sword body was truly extraordinary. My strength should now be enough to match a weaker 7-star Emperor level, Yi Tian estimated. With this, he had truly entered the ranks of Earth's pinnacle. Even relying on his time and space talents, he was a formidable opponent among the 7-star emperors. Of course, compared to the top 7-star emperors, Yi Tian still had a long way to go. His time and space talents might not even be enough to counter the top 7-star emperors. And who's to say there aren't 8-star or 9-star emperors in the Tianfu super base? Others could be hiding their strength just like he was. Until he became sufficiently powerful, he needed to keep a low profile. However, if someone provoked him, there would be no need for subtlety. But in Zonghai Super Base, no one dared to provoke him yet. Comprehending the Sword Dao realm, the Claw Dao realm, cultivating sword techniques, cultivating claw techniques. Yi Tian was extremely busy. Even with 20 times enhanced understanding and 10 times time acceleration, he still felt short on time. With no significant threats in Zonghai Super Base, he could focus on his cultivation. Unless something major happened, Yi Tian rarely left seclusion, except for occasional outings with Empress Yu. Meanwhile, during Yi Tian's seclusion, some changes occurred in the beast world near Zonghai Super Base. Dragon Palace. In the teleportation hall, a humanoid creature emerged from the teleportation array. He resembled a human but had 2 dragon horns on his forehead and wore a dragon robe. His aura was similar to that of a dragon, indicating his identity as a member of the dragon race. Once a member of the dragon race became a deity, they gained the ability to transform their shape, and most chose a human form, as it was more suitable for combat and interacting with other races. After stepping out of the teleportation array, this dragon race member scanned the area with his divine sense and frowned. The dragon palace was opened ahead of schedule, and many beasts entered the legacy hall. HMPH, they probably took away many treasures. I wonder why our ancestors chose to wait here for 150 years until their lifespans ran out, even forbidding members of our race from entering the legacy hall. Could it be, as the elders said, that Qingtan True God had a poor relationship with many high-ranking members of our race, leading to such restrictions? Unable to figure it out, he stopped pondering it. Whoosh! He stepped out of the dragon palace, his divine sense sweeping across tens of millions of miles. Boom! He scanned countless beasts but found no beast overlords. The dragon race powerhouse crossed seas and explored numerous mountain ranges, searching many places but sensing neither a beast overlord nor any beast with dawn-level bloodline talents. Something has indeed happened to the holy dragon tree. Transforming into a streak of light, he quickly arrived at the holy dragon tree. Seeing the intact holy dragon tree, the dragon race member sighed in relief. This tree was more precious than the entire beast world. If not for the dragon race's powerhouses wanting to use this world to cultivate the supreme bloodline talent's holy dragon fruits, they wouldn't have placed such a precious item here. Although the holy dragon tree was integrated with the beast world and difficult to extract even by deities, there was still fear of it being seized by beings surpassing deities. The holy dragon fruits have been taken by the beasts, but I haven't detected any beast with dawn-level bloodline talent using our clan's secret techniques. Could it be that the 9 beast overlords have become deity-level beasts and escaped into space? No, that can't be. If deity-level beasts emerged, our dragon race would sense it immediately. There must be another change, but what exactly happened? The dragon race member was puzzled. Why not ask the beasts of this world? They should provide some information. Leave some feedback in my Discord. Web links. Please consider reading at Chapter 257, Dragon Race Member. TL. Yu Yong. PR. Etude. A member of the Dragon Clan casually captured an Emperor-level ferocious beast, exerting the pressure of a God-level ferocious beast upon it. Speak, what has happened in this world? Why can't even a single Emperor-level ferocious beast ruler be found? The Dragon Clan member asked. Under the pressure of the God-level force, the Emperor-level ferocious beast trembled in fear. It was terrified. The aura of the Dragon Clan member far exceeded its imagination. The difference in their strength was like that between an ant and the abyss, as if they were not from the same world. My lord, I am not very clear, but I heard that recently the 9 Lives Cat Emperor killed both the Black Tiger Overlord and the Black Dragon Overlord. The Emperor-level ferocious beast honestly replied. Black Dragon Overlord, are there dragons in this world? The Dragon Clan member inquired. The Black Dragon Overlord is not a true dragon, but a sub-dragon. The Emperor-level ferocious beast explained. A sub-dragon, HMPH, daring to call itself the Black Dragon Overlord, how arrogant. If it hadn't died, I would have killed it myself. A mixed-blood sub-dragon dares to challenge the majesty of the Dragon Clan. The Dragon Clan member snorted coldly, their dragon might spreading across millions of miles. The Emperor-level ferocious beast was extremely fearful, guessing the identity of the Dragon Clan member. The mere thought of a divine dragon appearing before it stirred not excitement, but fear. Besides this, are there any other anomalies in this world? Speak of everything. The Dragon Clan member pressed again. The Emperor-level ferocious beast quickly recounted everything it knew, unsure if its information was of any use. When the Emperor-level ferocious beast suddenly mentioned a spatial rift, the Dragon Clan member showed a flicker of interest. Are you saying there is a spatial rift in this world that can be traversed by emperors? Is the other side of the rift the world of humans? The Dragon Clan member asked in astonishment. Yes, my lord, the Emperor-level ferocious beast replied. A spatial rift, I must have overlooked that area when I was scanning with my divine sense earlier. The Dragon Clan member thought to themselves. Regarding the human world, they had a thorough understanding. Under this starry sky, there are countless human planets, and in the vast galaxy, the overall strength of humans is even stronger than that of the Dragon Clan. If it were not for the unity of the Dragon Clan, they could hardly be considered a top family in the galaxy. Although most of the human race's talents are indeed mediocre, their sheer numbers and unique talents, which many ferocious beasts do not possess, along with their strong learning heritage and high intelligence, are what other races lack. Interesting, our Dragon Clan has never dared to enter the territory of humans, but I never expected this ferocious beast planet to be connected to a human planet. If this news is brought back to the clan, it will surely cause a huge sensation, and perhaps some of the elders will take an interest. The Dragon Clan member mused. My lord, I have finished speaking, may I leave now? The Emperor-level ferocious beast asked cautiously. Let you leave? The Dragon Clan member's face changed instantly, speaking ominously. Had you not mentioned the spatial rift, I might have let you go. But now, it's impossible. My arrival must not draw the attention of humans, so you must die. With a movement of their dragon claw, the Emperor-level ferocious beast turned to ashes in an instant. The Dragon Clan members' appearance transformed, their dragon horns disappeared, and they looked almost like a human. Changing into a set of clothes, they turned into a handsome and elegant young man. Then, identifying the direction, he flew towards the temporary base in Zonghai. Soon, he arrived at Zonghai Coastal Base and saw the 5-star level spatial rift hanging in the sky. A 5-star level spatial rift, allowing only emperors to pass through. I could get through by paying a certain price, but doing so would create too much commotion. Besides, each world has its own rules. If that world does not allow the existence of beings above the god level, or suppresses the power of god level beings, then it would be too dangerous for me to go there. The Dragon Clan member frowned to themselves. God level beings were not invincible. As a member of the Dragon Clan, he was acutely aware of this. For instance, some seemingly weak planets could suppress even the powers of a god-level entity entered, due to the rules of that world. Such planetary worlds are often forbidden for god-level beings, except for those who are invincible at their level and dare to enter such planets. However, he, being only average among his peers and not even considered a prodigy of the Dragon Clan, did not dare to venture into such areas. Entering an unfamiliar planetary world recklessly was akin to seeking death. The Dragon Clan member observed the base from outside, noticing its array and various detection equipment, realizing that entering would surely expose his identity. He took out a treasure, which rendered his entire body invisible. This state of invisibility wouldn't last long, but it was sufficient for his needs. He didn't enter the base but skirted around it, approaching the nearby 5-star spatial rift and slowly extending his consciousness into the other end of the rift, Earth. Suddenly, with a loud boom, the space vibrated intensely, and on Earth's side, there were tumultuous winds and continuous anomalies. Not good, I must leave quickly. The Dragon Clan member immediately fled and vanished in an instant. Soon after, a group of Emperor-level beings arrived but found no trace of anyone, although the incident was reported upward. From a distance, the Dragon Clan member became visible again, his face filled with both surprise and excitement. It's a planet that has just awakened recently. And this planet is not simple at all. Just having revived, it is already comparable to this ferocious beast world, with limitless potential. The Dragon Clan member was tempted. Such a newly awakened planet in the universe was extremely precious, likely nurturing many valuable things within. The only pity was that this planet suppressed God-level powers. Just now, his consciousness reached Earth, and it triggered the suppression of the world's will of Earth. If he himself entered Earth, his strength would immediately drop to the Emperor level, unless he could counter the world's will and ignore the world's force, allowing him to exert his full combat power. However, beings capable of countering a world's will were among the most powerful in the universe, and such powerful entities would not deign to invade a mere planet. Moreover, this planet belonged to humans, a race generally not dared to be offended by other forces. No, I must report back. The Dragon Clan member left and entered the Dragon Palace, departing via teleportation. All this happened unbeknownst to the warriors at Zonghai Super Base, and Yi Tian, who was in seclusion, was also unaware. On this day, Yi Tian emerged from seclusion. He hadn't reached his 10th physical limit yet and estimated it would take some more time. He exited because he ran out of Jengjin stones. Originally, the Jengjin stones were sufficient to break through the 10th physical limit, but because he needed to condense his innate sword body, he used a lot of Jengjin Qi, leading to excessive consumption of the Jengjin stones. However, Yi Tian was not far from breaking through his 10th physical limit and was not in a hurry. Now, Yi Tian was ready to fully focus on advancing in the Claw Dao realm. After such a long period of comprehension, aided by his Moonlight level Claw talent and top level understanding, his Claw Dao had finally caught up with his Sword Dao realm, reaching 20%. Now, Yi Tian aimed to advance to 30% of the Claw Dao realm. Once achieved, he could perfect a legendary level Claw technique and even progress to refining a God level Claw technique. A God level Claw technique, his first divine skill. He was very excited about this prospect. Leave some feedback in my Discord. Web links. Please consider reading at Chapter 258. The Dragon Clan departs, Yi Tian's new objective. TL. Yuyong. PR. Etude. A month later, Yi Tian emerged from seclusion. I've finally reached the 30% realm of the Claw Dao. Yi Tian hadn't expected that his mastery of the Claw Dao would surpass his Sword Dao, stepping into the 30% realm first. Moreover, he successfully perfected a legendary level Claw technique to the complete realm. This legendary Claw technique was named the Great Heavenly Dragon Claw. The Great Heavenly Dragon Claw, a legendary Claw technique, in its perfected realm, could not only amplify attack power by 100-fold but also possessed a dragon's intimidating aura. By perfecting the Great Heavenly Dragon Claw, Yi Tian's strength had significantly increased. Additionally, Yi Tian had refined a Moonlight level Claw weapon, which could merge into his palm, boosting his attack power and easily shattering the enemy's weapons. If combined with the slashing talent, a Moonlight level Claw weapon becomes even more terrifying, capable of easily breaking even Moonlight level weapons. Originally, Yi Tian wanted to continue his seclusion until he mastered a God level Claw technique, but considering the lengthy time required, he paused his cultivation. Mastering a God level Claw technique was not easy. It requires a Claw realm of at least 35% to begin practicing a God level Claw technique to the entry level. A 40% Claw Dao realm could cultivate a God level Claw technique to the minor accomplishment realm. A 50% Claw Dao realm could cultivate it to the major accomplishment realm. A 60% Claw Dao realm could cultivate it to the perfected realm. But advancing in the Claw Dao realm becomes increasingly difficult, even with 10-fold time acceleration and 20-fold comprehension abilities, making it hard to reach 35% in a short period. Initially, Yi Tian didn't expect it to take too long, but after reaching the 30% realm of the Claw Dao, he found that comprehension slowed down considerably. By his estimation, even with time talent and top-tier comprehension talent, reaching 35% in the Claw Dao would take about half a year. Half a year might seem lengthy, but for others, even with Moonlight level Claw talent, mastering a God level Claw technique would take hundreds of years. For him to achieve it in just half a year was incredibly exceptional. Half a year is too long. I've been in seclusion long enough. I should balance work and rest, and cultivate for a few days, Yi Tian muttered to himself. Leaving the cultivation chamber, he called his sister, Yi Yu, to his side. His sister, Yi Yu, still at the Saint level, had now unlocked 23% of her deep brain domain, reaching the peak of the Great Saint level in combat, making her a significant figure in Zonghai Super Base. Brother, you're out of seclusion. Yi Yu greeted her brother with joy. Yes, Xiao Yu, tell me about the recent developments in Tian Pavilion, Yi Tian asked. Yi Yu hurriedly reported, brother, Tian Pavilion now has 23 saints and hundreds of kings, not to mention numerous grand masters and great martial warriors. Also, Yi has become a senior array master. Yi, she's a senior array master now. That's great. Yi Tian nodded in satisfaction. Yi, Lin Yi, one of the first siblings to join Tian Pavilion, possessed Morning Star level array master talent and was destined to become a Morning Star level array master. Now she had begun her cultivation, already a king-level practitioner, and even her array master realm had reached the senior level. With enough points to comprehend the Dao spells, she could become a top-tier array master in a short time. Yi Tian inquired about a few more matters, pleased with Tian Pavilion's current progress. The only regret was that apart from Yi Tian, Tian Pavilion had yet to have an emperor-level expert stationed there. Of course, many emperor-level warriors were willing to join Tian Pavilion, but Yi Tian did not accept any of them. Those who joined midway without being cultivated by Tian Pavilion themselves lacked loyalty, and there was a risk they might take over his Tian Pavilion if he were away for a long period. Yi Tian certainly did not want such a scenario to happen. After all, with him present, Tian Pavilion, even without an emperor-level guardian, was an untouchable force. Having roughly understood the development of Tian Pavilion, Yi Tian let Yi Yu go about her tasks while he entered the virtual world of glory. Now that my strength has solidly entered the 7-star emperor level, it's time to reveal my 6-star emperor level strength. Otherwise, some might think I'm weak and cause trouble, which wouldn't be good. Entering the virtual world, Yi Tian began challenging the 18th level of the Glory Tower. Once he cleared this level, he would attain 6-star emperor level combat power and earn 131,072 points. Such a large amount of points was a significant sum for Yi Tian, allowing him to purchase many valuable items. On the 18th level of the Glory Tower, Yi Tian started a fierce battle with his opponent. He chose not to use his time and space talents but fought with his inherent abilities. After a brutal fight, he finally defeated his opponent with the Great Heavenly Dragon Claw, clearing the 18th level. At this moment, Yi Tian's combat power rating changed from a 5-star emperor level to a 6-star emperor level. Simultaneously, his ranking on the Glory Emperor list also changed. Emperor list rank 33. Yi Tian, affiliated force, Tian Pavilion, 6-star emperor level combat power. Many martial artists kept an eye on the emperor list, and as soon as it was updated, it attracted a lot of attention, with many shocked by Yi Tian's combat power. In the virtual world, many martial artists communicated with each other, spreading the news of Yi Tian clearing the 18th level of the Glory Tower and attaining 6-star emperor level combat power. On the virtual world's public chat platform, did you hear? A new 6-star emperor level warrior has emerged in Huasha, from Zonghai Super Base, known as the Heavenly Emperor of 10,000 Laws. The Heavenly Emperor of 10,000 Laws. Wow, I once queued against him in the virtual world, and although he instantly defeated me, it's an honor to be killed by a 6-star emperor. The talent of the Heavenly Emperor of 10,000 Laws is too high. He gained 6-star emperor level strength so quickly. I think he has the potential to reach the 7-star emperor level. Hee, how do you not know that the Heavenly Emperor of 10,000 Laws is deliberately concealing his strength? What if he already had 6-star emperor level strength and is only revealing it now? Whether he's concealing his strength or not, having 6-star emperor level combat power is a fact, and that's enough. Are you as strong as the Heavenly Emperor of 10,000 Laws? If not, then keep quiet. Many martial artists argued, making Yi Tian's fame surge. The nickname, Heavenly Emperor of 10,000 Laws, from the virtual world also became widely known as Yi Tian's title. In Tianfu Super Base, Glory Temple. In a side hall, several emperors wearing golden robes sat together, each holding information about Yi Tian. Yi Tian, nicknamed Heavenly Emperor of 10,000 Laws in the virtual world, 6-star emperor level combat power, possesses many talents and has great potential. According to information provided by the Void Breaker Sword Emperor, he already had near 6-star emperor level strength before and is very tough to handle. Even the strong Void Breaker Sword Emperor among the 6-star emperors couldn't defeat him, only managing a draw. I suggest we invite Yi Tian into our circle, what do you think? One emperor put down the information and spoke. Agreed. 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 The other emperors expressed no objections, all agreeing to invite Yi Tian. Who shall we send to contact Yi Tian? Leave some feedback in my Discord. Web links. Please consider reading at Chapter 259, Attention of the Glory Temple. TL, Yu Yang. PR, Etude. Several emperors discussed and then decided to send the Void Breaker Sword Emperor to invite Yi Tian. At least the Void Breaker Sword Emperor had sparred with Yi Tian before, making them somewhat familiar with each other, which naturally made it easier to approach him. After the meeting, the emperors left the side hall. Soon after, the Void Breaker Sword Emperor received the notification. In a certain ferocious beast world, deep within a mountain, the Void Breaker Sword Emperor had just slain an emperor-level ferocious beast and picked up the communicator, murmuring, "Those guys have asked me to invite Yi Tian. It seems they recognize Yi Tian's strength and potential. Well, I've been quite bored recently, so I might as well make the trip." Whoosh! The Void Breaker Sword Emperor transformed into a streak of light and flew towards a space rift. At Zonghai Super Base, Yi Tian was strolling on the street with Empress Yu when he suddenly looked thoughtful. "What's wrong, husband?" asked Empress Yu, noticing Yi Tian's expression. "A guest has arrived at Tian Pavilion. I need to go back for a bit," Yi Tian said. "All right, then let me accompany you," Empress Yu suggested, taking Yi Tian's arm. "Okay," Yi Tian nodded gently. Soon, the two returned to Tian Pavilion. Inside Tian Pavilion, Yi Tian met the Void Breaker Sword Emperor. In the guest hall, Yi Tian and the Void Breaker Sword Emperor sat in chairs, with everyone else from Tian Pavilion having left. "I didn't expect the guest to be you, Void Breaker Sword Emperor," Yi Tian expressed his surprise. The Void Breaker Sword Emperor was a 6-star emperor-level warrior and a high-ranking figure in the Glory Temple, with a significant status in the Tianfu Super Base. Why would such an important figure come to Zonghai Super Base to find him? If it was about recruiting him, they should have approached him earlier, not now. It had been a while since he challenged the Void Breaker Sword Emperor, and his sudden visit left Yi Tian both puzzled and surprised. "The Heavenly Emperor of 10,000 Laws, let me address you as such for now. I'm here actually on the instruction of some higher-ups in the Glory Temple," the Void Breaker Sword Emperor stated directly. Yi Tian accepted the Void Breaker Sword Emperor's address of him. In reality, he knew that many warriors in the virtual world referred to him as the Heavenly Emperor of 10,000 Laws, a nickname he himself had chosen and quite liked. Others addressing him as such, he took it as a default. "Void Breaker Sword Emperor, are you saying you've been instructed by some high-ranking individuals in the Glory Temple? Could it be the 7-star emperors? What do they want from me?" Yi Tian was puzzled. The Void Breaker Sword Emperor laughed. "Heavenly Emperor of 10,000 Laws, you'll find out who instructed me to come here. They've invited you to the Glory Temple." "Sorry, but I'm not very willing to join the Glory Temple," Yi Tian declined immediately. He had his own force, which, although far from comparable to the Glory Temple, might one day match it. Why join the Glory Temple and be bound by their rules? He wasn't naive enough to join the Glory Temple, regardless of how good their offer was. However, the reality was not as he imagined. The Void Breaker Sword Emperor explained, "Heavenly Emperor of 10,000 Laws, you've misunderstood. I'm not here to invite you to join the Glory Temple, but just to invite you to enter it. Anyone recognized as a 6-star emperor by the Glory Temple is eligible for this invitation. This invitation is not about joining the Glory Temple but to enter as a guest, to visit, or to understand the circles behind the Glory Temple." The circles behind the Glory Temple? Yi Tian's interest was piqued. He had long heard that the Glory Temple was shrouded in mystery, to the extent that many great emperors from the Tianfu Super Base did not fully understand it, and even rarely saw the emperors of the Glory Temple. The Glory Temple was undoubtedly the most mysterious force, and the emperors behind it were enigmatic yet belonged to a different circle from the ordinary emperors. Am I going to enter that circle? That circle must be very mysterious and knowledgeable about many secrets, Yi Tian speculated. He even had a vague feeling that this visit to the Glory Temple would bring a great surprise. Are there any constraints? Yi Tian asked. Of course not, said the Void Breaker Sword Emperor. Heavenly Emperor of 10,000 Laws need not worry. If you truly fear a trap, you can refuse the invitation. But I still hope you can visit the Glory Temple. You will see a different world, far beyond ordinary circles. Despite being ranked 23rd among the emperors, I am only just at the bottom of that circle. All right, I am willing to go. Yi Tian agreed. Heavenly Emperor of 10,000 Laws, when are you free? I can take you there. To avoid the hassle of arranging for another emperor-level guide who you are unfamiliar with, the Void Breaker Sword Emperor asked. Is a few hours okay? Yi Tian inquired. He wanted to inform Empress Yu to avoid her worrying. Sure, the Void Breaker Sword Emperor nodded. Subsequently, Yi Tian informed Empress Yu, who cautioned him to be careful and gave many instructions before letting him leave. Then, Yi Tian instructed his sister Yi Yu about some matters and resolved a few issues. After that, he and the Void Breaker Sword Emperor took the advanced teleportation array from Zonghai Super Base to the Tianfu Super Base. Glory Temple. Yi Tian and the Void Breaker Sword Emperor arrived here. The majestic temple exuded supreme dignity, resembling the abode of ancient deities, extraordinary among mortal constructions. Yi Tian could even sense countless laws embedded in the temple, becoming part of it, eternal and indestructible. "Let's go in," the Void Breaker Sword Emperor said. Yi Tian took a step forward and entered the Glory Temple, with the Void Breaker Sword Emperor accompanying him. While walking, the Void Breaker Sword Emperor explained, "Heavenly Emperor of 10,000 laws, the Glory Temple itself is actually a Dawn-level divine artifact, capable of suppressing any emperor. But this Glory Temple is more of a facade. Only a few emperors stationed here, while the real emperors are elsewhere. Inside the Glory Temple, there is a teleportation array, a transcendental, top-level one, also known as the Morning Star level. Teleportation array, capable of crossing small worlds. Are the emperors of the Glory Temple in a certain small world?" Yi Tian was surprised. "Correct," the Void Breaker Sword Emperor acknowledged. "Those emperors are indeed in a small world. Earth and those ferocious beast worlds are real planetary worlds. Within planetary worlds, many secret realms and rare small worlds are born. Some small worlds are even larger than planetary worlds but still depend on them. The main world is the planetary world, and no matter how large, a small world remains so. Our Earth has such a small world, currently under the control of the Glory Temple. But the Glory Temple is not what you think it is." "What do you mean?" Yi Tian was puzzled. At this moment, the Void Breaker Sword Emperor sighed. "Yi Tian, what do you think caused the sudden great changes on Earth? Was it natural? Could it be it wasn't?" Yi Tian felt a jolt in his heart and ventured a guess. He felt he was about to uncover an incredible secret. It certainly wasn't a sudden occurrence. "I'm not clear about the specifics, but it's related to the forces behind the Glory Temple," the Void Breaker Sword Emperor revealed astonishingly. "Leave some feedback in my Discord. Web links. Please consider reading at Chapter 260, The Secret Behind the Glory Temple. TL, Yu Yang. PR. Etude." Yi Tian abruptly stopped in his tracks, looking incredulously at the Void Breaker Sword Emperor. "Void Breaker Sword Emperor, isn't the Glory Temple the most powerful force in the Tianfu Super Base? Is there actually a force behind the Glory Temple?" The Void Breaker Sword Emperor spoke solemnly. "Heavenly Emperor of 10,000 laws, you should be aware of the ancient civilization era, right? Originally, many humans from the ancient civilization sect era lived on Earth for a long time. In fact, many humans on Earth also have the bloodline of ancient civilization humans. When the Earth's Yuan Qi disappeared, and the space rifts were about to vanish, many sects of the ancient civilization withdrew, but some of their descendants did not. Therefore, these descendants stayed. As time passed, the descendants of the ancient civilization humans could no longer cultivate, and with their lifespan reaching its limit, they had no choice but to find a way to leave Earth. Some successfully escaped into space, while others hid in small worlds still rich in Yuan Qi. However, these humans gradually became ordinary, no different from the people on Earth, only their development paths differed. Earth developed into a modern world, whereas the humans in the small world remained in the ancient civilization era, similar to Earth's ancient times. During the great changes on Earth, the Yuan Qi in the small world rapidly revived, and an interstellar teleportation array in the small world was activated. Interstellar teleportation array. Yi Tian guessed something and quickly asked, "Could it be that the humans of the ancient civilization era have arrived?" The Void Breaker Sword Emperor nodded. "Yes, but they can't be called ancient civilization era humans. They are like us, but just living on a different planet. They are the humans of the planets where the ancient civilization sects were. But over the long years, most of these sects have vanished, leaving only a few. More than 100 years ago, people from these sects on the ancient civilization planet came through the teleportation array and established a force called the Glory Pavilion. Soon after, Earth began to revive. And our Glory Temple was supported by this force, both sides using each other." "Using each other?" Yi Tian pondered thoughtfully. "That's right, using each other," said the Void Breaker Sword Emperor. "Although our Glory Temple is supported by Glory Pavilion, after all, we are humans from two different planets. We are both human, but with so many years apart, there are hardly any relations left, only interests. And these people from Glory Pavilion seem to be wary of something. They never enter Earth, only letting us collect resources for them, while they provide us with cultivation techniques, weapons, and even boundary-breaking pills. The boundary-breaking pills of the Glory Temple are provided by these people from Glory Pavilion. Glory Pavilion's people don't control you? Yi Tian was curious. No, said the Void Breaker Sword Emperor. They seem to only trade with us, nominally making us a subordinate force, but they don't allow us to use that interstellar teleportation array. We guess that the revival of Earth's Yuan Qi is probably the work of these people from Glory Pavilion, or other similar forces. Other similar forces? Could it be? Yi Tian thought of other countries. Sure enough, the Void Breaker Sword Emperor said, Heavenly Emperor of 10,000 laws, you must have thought of it too. Glory Pavilion supports us, Glory Temple, representing the Washa power. But that planet has far more than just Glory Pavilion. Other forces have also supported different forces, roughly about a dozen. And that small world is quite large, with certain suppression on Emperor-level beings. The destructive power of Emperor-level beings is not as great there as on Earth. Moreover, that small world has many human cities, as well as many great emperors, even including 8-star and 9-star emperors. Does Glory Temple have 9-star emperors? Yi Tian asked again. No, the Void Breaker Sword Emperor shook his head. 8-star and 9-star emperors are basically the true top existences of those foreign forces. The strongest on Earth's side currently is an 8-star emperor, but he is not from Glory Temple, but from the Western War God Temple. Western War God Temple. Yi Tian remembered this name. Along the way, he chatted a lot with the Void Breaker Sword Emperor and gradually learned about the Glory Temple, Glory Pavilion, and the small world. Soon, they arrived at the teleportation array of Glory Temple, about to teleport into the small world. This small world is known to everyone as the Earth Immortal Realm. Of course, this Earth Immortal Realm is different from the one in novels, just sharing the same name. Whoosh! The teleportation began. In the next instant, Yi Tian arrived in the Earth Immortal Realm. Boom! A heavy pressure descended upon him, feeling like an omnipresent force, yet it was different from gravity. If it were gravity, ordinary people would not be able to live here. It felt more like a rule suppression. Quickly, Yi Tian adapted to this suppression and stopped paying attention to it. After all warriors were subject to this suppression, which limited only their destructive power, not their strength. There was nothing to worry about. Stepping out of the teleportation hall, Yi Tian arrived in an ancient city. So many people. Yi Tian was somewhat surprised. His divine sense swept through, revealing that many in the city were ordinary people, with few warriors, and even fewer at the king level or above. In terms of the number of warriors, this city was even less than some small bases. Are you curious why there are so few warriors? Asked the Void Breaker Sword Emperor with a smile. Indeed, I am curious, admitted Yi Tian. Because this place is safe, without the attacks of ferocious beasts, the ordinary people rarely die from accidents. Plus, with little threat, there are many more ordinary people. This leads to an overall decrease in human talent in this world, naturally resulting in a fewer proportion of warriors. But there are actually a lot of humans in this world, and the total number of warriors surpasses that of Earth's humans. You'll understand this later, explained the Void Breaker Sword Emperor. Immediately after, the Void Breaker Sword Emperor led Yi Tian into an ancient and huge pavilion, where they soon met a group of great emperors. Here, he encountered some of the great emperors from the emperor's list. At the top of the pavilion, Yi Tian met a 7-star emperor from the Glory Temple, Emperor Ling Fei. Emperor Ling Fei appeared very young and amiable, but his aura was extremely powerful and terrifying, far beyond the Void Breaker Sword Emperor. The moment he saw Emperor Ling Fei, Yi Tian recalled the information about him. Emperor's List 7th. Li Ling, Affiliation, Glory Temple, 7-star Emperor level combat strength. Without a doubt, Emperor Ling Fei was very strong, one of the powerful beings even among the 7-star emperors. Ranked 7th on the Glory Emperor's list, meaning he was the 7th strongest in Washa. Emperor Ling Fei greeted Yi Tian politely. Please take a seat, Heavenly Emperor of 10,000 laws, Emperor Ling Fei said with a slight smile. Yi Tian sat down. Heavenly Emperor of 10,000 laws, you must have learned quite a bit from the Void Breaker Sword Emperor, but do you know why I invited you to the Earth Immortal Realm? After all, you won't join the Glory Temple, so we shouldn't need to invite you, stated Emperor Ling Fei directly. Indeed, I am still somewhat puzzled, Yi Tian nodded. freewebnovel.com. Emperor Ling Fei laughed a few times, then explained, because we are all people of Washa, where there are people, there are conflicts. On Earth, Due to the threat of ferocious beasts, each major base needs to be guarded, and ferocious beasts obstruct travel between them, so it's difficult for the strong from different countries to meet. But it's different in the Earth Immortal realm. Here, it's easy to encounter humans from other regions. Washa is a group, and humans from other regions are also in groups, leading to conflicts between each other. Moreover, we Earth humans also need to be wary of those foreign powers, so the more great emperors that can come to the Earth Immortal realm, the better. But weaker great emperors would be a waste of quotas and better not come. What quotas? Asked Yi Tian. Emperor Ling Fei took out a ring. The quotas for entering and leaving the Earth Immortal realm freely. Leave some feedback in my Discord. Web links. Please consider reading at